really enjoyed it. And go for G woman ni papa. Hey, now ni baby I hear me depa. Vows day no. Oh, come on. Sadi we entice you. Me se me nam social media yi so na me copy me hwa o baby atoka pa na. What designing what ripen na chese what yen no eh. Enya sanketwa and what dia chene husband. Wow. Efe yiye. Yese fa yiye kan semwa. Na efe yiye na akono yiye. What is here? A man mum de bia mama yen try say ye bekoswa. Enye me man kwa na to gifts. E de che one more ayerenum and as one more partners. A man so e say vice versa. Ye na sa na timi aboa. Ana mo ne menya adwene. One word there no. Oh, if I was there this year, I think say quite different. Ghana had you say a National Chocolate Day. As a chocolate board day. Chocolate. Ne board day. Hey! Ghana Cocoa Board and a CPC. Munya bibi fa hu. Ah, na obi a ye promote chocolate, ye promote cocoa. Na chocolate board din woni sika ntimento. Enti e bedru kasada special day we na kiatete cocoa so. Na kiatete chocolate so. Na bo na ba form. Hey! Ofa ba ku yesi 20 cedis, 30 cedis. Adan. Edru offense yesi e di promote and chocolate ne dia. Eni edru day no a yemma chocolate bo no emra form. Asem we mbet na heya na ba mitiri ma anwene ho na mbebe kan. Yes, my plan is be me ba be kan we. Metie ya make National Chocolate Day and as idea the be mitiri say ade na dia ade a yesi a national ye promote ye reso obi abetimi edi chocolate ye ka the nutritional values e wo chocolate mo na chocolate bo e che ayi den oto ento so ahu edi enhya ho a wontimi ni chocolate obi anto bi anfa anom a wonya bi ni si e pese e promote dia ene on that very day no 14 February no ye hwese ye beti chocolate bo so ama ba from kra ade we I have to take it up. I have to take this matter up so that getting to friends say 14th February beer every year no you better see a bit promote your chocolate no near my chocolate in the bono abba from no beer at least what the whole year when the chocolate to cry that very day need dear so to me enjoy chocolate and I never nyadene I was ava me dey the MAAME BIAMAH AKWAFO betimi afrɛ me biamzi one woman gada MAAME soja biama brofo de betimi afrɛ me me amejo so ana say ya bi now on say beginning of this February we can say we are in a month of love. Now this particular month this particular month I want us to dedicate it to ourselves. Yen no yen ho ya do adofonom ya do anuanom ya do abusua ya do ma obo honoma will losing itself for taking care of other people. One can say losing itself. This month, enkechi, and yet 14th February, nkwane di celebrate the whole month ni nyina mesrew. Kope baby tina. Na jojo ho. Dia do kon di wate man ho ntow. Ai. Wo ye adwuma baby timi sore ye adwuma from anopa to anadwo. Je wa ho me odo. Life is too short. Ti kope baby tina. Na ese massage papa bi akone ye twetwetwetwe na wo hu sisi wo so na je se bibia anya kama emfa mawo do ho wate in this month of February aka krebe na month of February ye de kwa wiye encourage Mr. you have a little time kona koye saade no fa ma wo kra eninye safe na wode wafidie no ato ase ya me kanfo ama wo se eye nita fe me manchi en wasogu a wotie no eji akese enkoma my Franklin Ababe come home. Say Franklin memo akwaba.
But me just so na me tie for nyina so.
Etie for ejo so pa ye no wakasa for so many times but ye hu wanim da ene de Fili Gadochi.
Pa.
Bibi aboko de.
Nyame adom bibi aboko.
Ye de rad ya say. Yen hwe me fa won sha same free election related violence. I won say me fa free bia from 2020 elections ye ko mu ne ye hunu say enipa be ye 8 ye bobo motuo emom wi ye basabasa sisi wo other places any ade. Ye free one one ye ba 2024 elections ye mu. Ye to abande abato on de obi yetimi nya kwan to na ba wie but e kirasem enie me fifiri mu ba ye ni nyina wohwe mu a youth no na eye so much involved in this one more call lutu warehouses ekwese anuane ye fe no nto nchen just na san ya ade we me nim omenya bakosem abi nsida say council of state ye to aba e de ayi obi say onko kutu abaya na so onkotu mampanyimfo so that obetimi edi good policies ni ade aba na Ghana for ye ho atoye eno ye de koye ntokwa eno so gidigidi up to now as I speak with you ye nchi wo bia ye hwe niema a free after elections no mu nyina asisia efa abato eho. Is it a case say ye insecurity no omonye on top of issues obi atchire omo say government and now what is happening with our security system?
Okay, mama medafo na men senchie etiefo bio. Say by security in some no say mama membo etiefo too much but mama begin from the genesis say wo hwe your mind abakosemu a yen share da nya emre entity and I say talking about security. Emre bia no kamia koye say BBC a ni aka ho asem. But as to entity ya yede matemamufo senior security work no ye said nyamre enchre entino akoy say obia ye nia o feel say ebeboa anase be protecting his interest eno ka ho ena omem so hia bakosem a ye pe broni bika be say sympathy than empathy. Sympathy ni say minim say ade a me ye nye na mum sankuyi a medwa to panin bi ana politician na sofo bi no akopacha wa mame
we ye me wo faase we ye me nana
enu so di yenya o ye security ana wo hwe sebe asofo ene ahemfo ene politicians a omo so influences no in their security no enu so edi yenya enti kamia koye se police kra pese o make decision bi a usuro se me kwa koye ochina wanhwe ani akọ transfer me ana se ni akọ kamia se enti no ama the police independence police bejina brane ayo majuma senior etie no ayana edin kakra according to a few researcher yeah because awofa abroche bi te say London and your friends in US a police for and govern the day to day omo wo suan hu ne ntete yese no ne civilians ye timamufo no ebedi ebenante edi nkita ho afa na omo timi promote suro enye so omo suro ba suro a wo se ye nyama police for to the extent say ma me bi won ma say wo drive wo camp na wo hwe rearview mirror na hu police car say di wachi a wonye bone but hu popo because unim say emra ne chiwa achew enti no abrofo no abomodin aba ohwe yabakose mu atete no se kase police ni efre wa ana invite wa hu se suro no a aya na ewoye mu no but ne se suro no eni wo sa esan se entity no ama eduru baby no influences no aye too much and afen so social media no ameboa yen e wo fa bi because now no your self tutorial babru no betimi anya access to internet ahwe demonstrations ne ne ma ekoso amanfu from amana say ebia obey imitate the same thing and you know we any niema emwa ye security ewo and funny enough na only in Ghana majority of the African countries you know emwa ye security say and you know say ye betimi ama ni edikan timamufo ehunu se omo ye timamufo But yentimi emfa etuo ana yen show mo kutupa say omonko protect your interest abra bambo for. That is where we are getting it very, very, very wrong. Because if people say me infa me ho ento police so because ebiana police and protecting my interest. But then at the same time no yen kroya niyama sebe sro kakra aba police no say police ni ntimi nyina brane enye nia ɔman no ahyɛ ne sɛ ɛwɔ so wɔyɛ nti no at the same time no yɛpɛ police protection at the same time yɛpɛ democracy at the same time yɛpɛ detected democracy sɛnea yɛpɛ democracy ɛne yɛpɛ sɛ yɛ no ɛno na mua because kɛbɛɛ de bɛn wɔn sɛ yɛto aba awie ankora ntimi de mmara hyɛ ne nsɛm sɛ menkɔ na menkɔbu sika ɔman taxpayer use to their building infrastructure na mensɛn no esan say me person me make a statement na enu na edi yenya bebre na se yanhwe ne ya se nya wo kan no for the next 10 years baby o man ni bedru no ye wo mu se Ghana ye asundue mind ye wo mu se Ghana nyame se wo man so but baby a ye keka kono se yanya hwe yi a ebedru baby no ye ntimi manage bio
yenhwe yen youth no because say bia omo nim say police and protect omo interest omo nim say bia omo entrusted me fancy the police service no it obema omo the needed protection no enti no omanya sa akukuduro no de mrahye omo sam ye womo ye no
mami me
because me bo eni me bo how to say say the nipa no asienya akukuduro ye to the extent simple no police ni kura wo ho a ye bebo
ebane se ne abedru say trust ne de se ofa US UK there's still a mistrust between civil tememufo any police for na wo de na nia ometimi an say impempi no ahemfo nim
okay
politicians nim enti no emma at least a certain percentage no police for nitimi ye nia e wo so moye but so ba yen kromo ha no a politicians rem asofo rem ahemfo rem enti no ama trust no within civilians no any police no e bafom esan say abia police pani bi ka say bia me tu me nan si wo say enne me yese ya say ankoye political party we asem a e ba koye political party we asem say ankoye sofo we asem a e ba koye ahemfo we asem enu na e weaken the police gradually enu so no emma confidence e wo say timamufo nya wo police no enu so kofom
yeah mame enchipi in e wa ha no say wo say ye wo say ye amamre ne amane ne sitie say de sitete yen ene ya busua bomu eyo ne ade no menim say no na ama ye hunu de ye hunu because obi ayo obi abusuani say onye ne busuani kura ye ne wo fa bia danfo ena bia ne busuani eno no enti obehunu say bia o ne atumi ese medwane ko na enconsider be how long must we continue to do this it dey na was here in our situation no.
Okay. Mami so hwe enka na nanka ye won kwalaboni school. Enti se nka wo secondary school mpana se wo ye youth pona se wo din semoni bia aya na wo fu di stroke akra so mu se wan hwe ye befo wa kwalaboni school. Ene sa kwalaboni school no on se dante ho asem papa. Ye intimi se mu kenaye. Enti even from right from teenage we no adolescent age no sa suro no anyhow because won ti ho asem se ne akane no nanka eti ho asem fa se wo kai a bebe 25-30 years ago ye de hu no show mu wo fie se wan hwe ye ba befo akonkwalabo ni school enti no o seti apakra enen no ye ntimi se mu kina
even before sankwalabo ni school no kra no first no as told by my dad we student na wonnam ebia won se first na public toilets ewo edoso na ye ni efiefie de ebia wona mo public facility bi sana ushia wo teacher you have to run away na campeto musio mo krase bia obekoko to teacher say oho na woni na ko bompu ni mpu na ye be kenu seriously pa say woni nyina afiri ho e ba ne say
so wo hwe nsese ye de ba ye secondary schools and ye tertiary schools now kanitete no nanka teacher timi discipline akola me kai pa say emre bi won ma even taxi drivers impo no say wonam po na so nam lolo kwan ma na kenhye omo ka nim nanko de atwa wachi enen no sane man na wonti mi bio on say enema obroni beka evolving enema esesa we hwe abe for kwanso na yesu enema bebre but yenye democracy no on say African democracy no a different from the Western democracy because sebe no omontitiye efre emofra ase no a different from yenye entitiye so won enti no akwa yese sa suonhunu because before then no next door neighbor mpo se wudi nsemoni ansa na wo ma me fi adwumamra obetimi akenu e put you right ene no sa ne mani nyina e kofom ba ne yentimi anyene se yentimi amfa kwan bi so ansa nhyemo kena to create discipline from enkwalano mofrabrem enti onyi with the ignorance say emrani ho bibia ntimi nyamehwe na teacher ni kra ntimi punish me school the other day research bi one of the secondary schools and then no teacher ni kra ntimi enkeni akola te senya na kane no let ye no enti no your foundation no in terms of discipline level no akofom ena yenya de bedru mpempenso ena ya ba bedru ena ahemfo asofo ne politicians no anso amana making it easier say ubetimi akoye nyamransem but about protection be protected enti no ama youth no suro be ne wom because okwa akoye ebi obenya sofo bi obenya ohene pon bi obenya politicians bi akase munya ne manenko.
What do we do?
Asomano mami unless said deliberately they be make say e was say asofo ahemfo politicians etwe omuhu fi e bimbo asem when it comes to policing. Now you strengthen your policing because police for they dealing with us day to day. Say you intimi moment jida brania na se egu omuhu fia BBC are the same police na near San from say mumra na momekomaye nti say yantwe onwu enfrim na say yan ye o see it make criticize police omo ye bibia enya but say ye se kutupa say kona munko de nyamransem after all me ye pani wa ha me ye sofo wa ha me ni mo pani bia metimi friend en no a wan hwe wo kone ba koto ato bibia enwo say eko say yantwe enwu enfrim ma me ye nko bibia yantwe enwu enfrim pa be o mine kono
ye sa opepa no ye was sa political will no I betimi dia ye
enoni problem e wo sisi a say wo hwe yamanyo semu a ewra policing ebia nipa ne feel say ebia enam party we so ena me call police into me ye loyal to party no enye me ye loyal to omine no so won into no because e asemesi ne ma me slot ena edi me be rap policing into me loyalty e wa ha but I was say your loyalty e ko ma omine
country no
nye party no do by party in the way na femu de waboa boni bi ani ho but e was so uremu a wo say me loyalty e your mind no e was say me bo mind ho ban o say me bo timmamufuo ho ban nia enye no o say etimi to baabi a e was say ye de to ye nsuro say me kwa akoye medjuma momme ana ye mfa me nkoto baabi a nti say ye nyo openo from the political will na say I extend it to the chieftaincy mami nko baabi a
hey
Yanko baby. We don't even have to worry about external terrorism. Baby, internally, we're doing very well grooming our own internal terrorism. Because in Pempenswa, youth, anatimemuni, ensro sojeni bio, ekase meji sojeni tuo. And you know what say you through. Because police, everyone say all the time, no, you're not around us, no, you're familiar. But soldiers there, they be from infancy on matiomo. But see, Yaku could draw say, ye betimi soldier near Jina, Ajini tua. That is a baby, a kika kono, ye quetry. And we share the ratio for you for omunsro police now. Percentage, you know, a pigeon mukakra. And you know, say, as a country, no, as a political parties, no, we need to be very firm say yen type police echi no muntimi nyom numa otina make na say na at the end of the day no e be restore the confidence in the political party say ye kofa police we say abia during the election no omo make sure say law and order e wo hwa on be yo madwuma pepepe say netie but sisi ano ye fa citizens any edi tuo e show monsem any so omo na emo ye ho ban
yes, as a political parties, they don't believe in the police.
That is where we are.
Because who believe in the police service no a anka obema police for kwan say mo protect here mo hwe say law and order adwuma ewo ebia election grounds ha but we no metro men bia omo fe say omo ya affiliated to one particular party ni akofa won ni ya ma omo sa na man say come and protect us eno the police for not to nchen be
eno ni problem ayewo but mama mi senka political party bi e ka say eyi nkrofo ka say monko na monko hwe say ye interest ye protected and I say abano ye to no pepe yo se ye nkaboni ne ho
okay
but say o cross line no e de mra no ahye wonsem say me ko fa ballot box me ko gi soja ni tuo me ko kontokwa eno na we have to draw that line.
Must we entertain that aspect now? What can say no? Must we entertain it?
Oh, observers say unya observers a representation for party ni bianca. In Kenya Bonnet.
Okay.
Enya Bonnet. And then when also yetimi draw line and say ABR yemfone say may party A and I may call elections. On my mechi tie for no me yi ABR ba ku mienu miensa so omonko no monko hwe say bibia beko pepepe yo a ende Kenya Bonnet.
Okay.
So moko na say bibia anye pepepe yo a ubetimi a report ama police ama emrabem abeye nia ewo so moye but say wo fa emra na hye wonsem say wo say oman no ejapade say wo pra obi say wo ni bible ni ekokon tokode ho no say political parties na draw the line say there be sa line we there yentimi cross it because ochine bi no ye be san ba ban mu yen kro na asan tutimamufo for say monfa mo re enhye police mu abreko a yankase ye display say police na nkase mu no yenjo mu ni.
When was so making sure
I think sir, Mame, started from the MPs, started from the ministers, the government, the national security apparatus. It started from Obia. The responsibility lies, and they have to be. I think sir, they have to be a genuine pact signed between the security service and the political parties to minimize interference. Their supporters, are getting involved in. There have to be a deliberate pact. Sending your political parties, a sign pact, I think so between the security agencies and the political parties, have to sign the same pact to say there be this is where we draw the line. So we observers akohwese ne yakofa bonini ho but say we supporters across the line there whether we supporters and now some the opposition party supporters, this is where we draw the line as a security
do you
agency.
think, sir, these supporters, you can't say
Mami, sir, Sabe, sir, obadi in some money. Now, awofo no, unko tai obanechi. Now, panesia kolanwa, ojai ni
more chances to be before. Okay.
So, entino say, ayena BBC, na se ka say, fine. Ye dance say wo tai yechi. But say wo proud be say wo say abaja pade de ye be ma emra no e de wa fa sene emra ne tie next time no it will serve as a deterrent and it will serve as a caution to both parties. But say yenya the goodwill and say this is where we want to go to a bedroom baby no I mean we don't have to worry about external tourism. Bianca said we're doing a good job because running him and they TBC police station baby I bedroom no intino akukudro ben and na youth was say meko police station akutwa jatum akukudro ben say meti me akuje osra ni anim say me gini tu akukudro ben ehoni ekako but military so ni last line of defense enti me fan say yebu police enim tiawa say itimidi kodu military na se exocidia omoni last line of defense enti omani e kwan ye ni obi
abusiafo nita fame 19 waso egua otie no nyame adom security analyst Franklin Lennox yensa kan wa hase ya yene no edi nkomofa ye bambo ensensem eho yenyina ni tua mabu no sese wo mate chen wo mate nkensen wo ka hwe me de example president Mahama eba power na youth elu two warehouses ne ade o kan ye se the cost on enye womunyai ne honkro ne ba but it went on emenreya crisis elections be cost no so gidigidi sa ama ya chi nipa back Wahu. Enti abusua ade ne yesi efrifie. Charity begins at home. Enti ansa ne ye ma no betie si monten so akoye saa basabasa no. Yen kasa nkyere wo fie. Why? Enye bibia na ye gidigidi e na ye de eye. Ye gusua wa ha ye bo enkomo na frankly me fa wo emonwura ha no a bit sensitive there, but me pe concerns because akoso ache braso say we see it me pe lasting solutions to red. Me kasa na me kan e de ko boko chieftaincy issues me nim say chieftain I don't know even the genesis. I don't know how it all came about. Me nim say why there be briefing en kakra on kwan ye nam so ma sa antokwa no awowa ye nanano we beti I don't know so den dia beboso na just say de bia entokwa enkoso. What is actually happening in Boku?
With Boku situation there, say now they can kind of very sensitive. Metrema bien kakra bi wo mo. But the American fan when say ohwe your constitution na the chief sector no recognize. Almost say, but where as a country, baby, keka kone say at what point and free the chieftaincy into security issues. So, because when it comes to the security and the peace of the country, there on my muno assedie to make sure say security and peace prevail at all times. And to where we need to draw the lines about once again, because of the political will as well. Say party way equity on hini way chia and now say they are calling things to order, they become unfavorite of that particular region. And also play a role in our politics. In politicians be so person getting involved, they are a little bit sensitive. Say make one sha na me waha ye betu etia anami di wechi but I think say baby akeka kono asomman no we need to be able to know say okay we eya ho influence it will be done within the caucus of the chieftaincy but say extra line we are it becomes security issue and therefore no it was so on minor stamping the authority and put the chieftaincy side as far as the security issues are concerned. So yentimi anya sade na Boko will always be there. And ochinebia we be sorry akase maintain one say and then it will result into war. And it's a far because Boko said now if I stand to be corrected, if free run is in pencil all the way out to baby yetimi aba bedri, we are not making a progress. And as a minor, what is the next step? The next step say ye ma him for enyo ma him for some. But say ma security issues there. It's rubber security issues there. Then, as a minor, we need to deal with it according to your laws regarding security. And only baby for me, make us say baby about bedroom because any pair into him for semubio, any pay prepra, a binumu luso majuma, a binumu capital essay. It's now become a national security issue and young mere chieftaincy issue. And you know, I was there. On mine bem na baby I was say ye de emrane to no ye de to if it means so mo call curfew for God knows for the next 6-7 months to serve as a deterrent and a beboa then so be it but ye intimi nka say almost every season bia no e kwesi boko ye prankrofo ye kumkrofo state no we still resources ye to police for go we can't continue
and after I say o pesa wo hwe na e solving so na ya accuse any na over this side
and I say well and then most of the times you realize the political parties followers almost started the conversation oh where you wait for but I said to my phone to me back benkrum say na ekoso no emwo man no and I am bringing progress and then I hear they tre youth no say every time be I want to be as no they have to create a chaos and no I was say both political parties, because Ghana no share technically we have two main political parties, they have to be able to come to understand and say, no, for once and for all, no, it will say yetimi take a stand near putting the Boku issues to a rest. Without Obi feel say a party A and answer party B interesting here.
There's a situation whereby His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Boku issue is starting were two and among Ahudubi. Setting up a cyber security authority of Ghana, like task force B, to investigate, to take some actions on what happened, especially those using the social media to foment troubles, no? And who is that step?
To be honest with you, first time I met say Saudi, and I thought it was a very genius idea. Baby, area say kono say yetimi invest in technology. Majority of the crimes can be controlled. And for me, when I had said that initiative was started, and I thought, say, I applauded him. Said, "Niawaye no is in the right direction." Say, what take here anamonsa because through social media, no, the perpetrators or people who are inciting people because obia will followers, obia will be otiobi. Until at the end of the day, they say, "Who use social media?" Edia incite the youth no announce it me for say omunkoye nyamna semwa. Na say betimi pick you from social media. I think say it's in the right direction. Okay. And I also applaud say aban bia bia no now no ye engage the youth in cyber because when the generations now no the generations of the youth and cyber. And you know say yetimi recruit more youth into cyber a bit reducing we bet generate more employment. Okay. At the same time, so almost what pick you on through social media no is either a fine. Mami, I don't believe in custodial sentence too much because the worst punishment you can have on earth will be prison. So akwalani youth no co prison near releasing at the age of 40 also hibio because the worst punishment a bit that man until say bit may introduce fines. Well, security is very expensive. Adia Africa yintimi say ye create a business model within security to sustain security. Until they be no acquire one-way street. They be no abai na sikadia security. But things like ye finding Crawford for misbehaving on social media, giving them community sentences, say be a wo or proper hako yiga temni manema, and we showcasing it can also cause deterrent. At the same time, no, we can employ more youth within the cyber security industry, whereby akwalakono per the number of arrests social media no, you get bonuses and your basic salary. Commission. Exact commission. Into the bit imagine more employment. In Tenenka Bokui, you install CCTV all over the place. One area in Kuala almost running shift, almost monitor all the time. You bet me pinpoint it because in UK say I'm maybe a in the even the early 90s. Obi ano ye Ghana and ya no so onye Ghana and yon pesi yedembeba. Omutimi tracy ya mani be who time obi do Heathrow. Atadia no she basa or fire any few corrum through CCTV. And I'm doing the back when about Yukroma. And to say if the government invests in security or cyber security, I think say bit me employ more youth. At the same time, so youth no chaos will be by is because Bebruno Onyejuma or your ideal. So and sadly enough, no, ye produce graduates ye ni ejuma mo okroma. That is one of the fundamental problems.
National security threat cry.
What you say because akwalano ebi on ma me be interview so me do university or course we near the mami. As to course we bisa no obi okuta degree o de ba be ye dan in the job marketing point in control. Until was me university me nya ejuma. But me one course no ready no ye nya wo ejuma okroma. Until no this could also be an avenue whereby you betimi atrem now youth na sebe or more degrees in the we employ them within the cyberspace because there were 16 regions. Every region be an onsenka if even every borough and I say every minim say again I'm kind of think the metropolitan assemblies. Yeah. If even assembly be a CCTV surveillance systems and I employ the youth to actually observe some of the wrongdoings within the metropolitan or within the assembly and ye finding Crawford and assembly be at me generating revenue ye benye sika die tuya because for example Okada almost respected traffic light you look at the number of accidents in Wokroma and you know at the end of the day no sakwala ko CCTV nechi now obi crossing red light now so mutimi free police community police now say stopping back now say a fine or heavy fine of 2,000 for indiscipline now say timi chini pakrabe 2,000 in a month out of 2,000 or 1,000 Ghana cedis or even 500 cedis, how much revenue have we generated? I bet me tuya sabebnunika. And if Obia sorry kwe juma, mami, why ene kotam sekai akodi political party BH edi niema
the devil finds work for the idle hands to
exactly.
Do. It is Obibia. Uncle the political party.
Mami yeti so bi kwe to obeso. Oh sorry. Because etua woka bosumi etua woka. Na bebru ni tifie. we or degree why you frustrated so in ejuma ebi or dressing ebi or girl kakra onti minye sika enfan sort your mouth and tell the moment sin yenko hey we benya 2000 or 1500 Ghana
hey Edino yɛnhwɛ we na person can be business as me at the latter part but my main business is here because we are in it. Employ youth in the cyber security. Yɛwɔ security analysts bebre wɔ Ghana ha. Minti me oda men kakra ha me nipa mako 10 and na omo yɛ security analysts wɔ Ghana ha. What are you doing? Ma together. Ma ye BB to help champion the cause of security.
Mami won't say there are two things. The situation is this. A very difficult say make a certain analysis or comment. Okay. And then you will not be affiliated to a particular political party. And when they're high. Okay. And you know, ama sebe, there are certain conversations that if you want to have one share the entrenched position will be such a any ukasa. But because of that, it creates a bit of a problem in terms of unity and unifying the analysts.
But
you have
to come together because say government ain't me and I mean just want to mean but I say because of politics, we are on a political affiliation, and my government it means stamping feet to make sure say be security juma bambo there is peace here and there. But some momo come who bomb as security analyst momo to me advise the government to look on which way or which step to take.
I mean, a very, very good idea. But as to whether a better senior use Sunifa is also a different conversation. And I think one of the challenges also we have, and not only in Ghana, most of the African countries, only few decision makers are more open up for technology.
Okay.
But near was it here say woman say, baby, if you think analog, the world will leave you behind.
Oh, okay, chikra.
So, into the social, mame can't it no nanka the worst crime unya ewo Ghana ye obi akoko to obi bante we are punching.
Oh yes.
We didn't have armed robbery.
And
to bottom. Those were the worst crime. And no near strategy to combat those crimes.
Yeah.
And then obi no ko obi for makoko to banches or kwakoton. And no the level of crime as a what the country is not prepared for, and they say the strategy that we need to use to combat those crimes. And it's still you say the old
method.
That's it. In combating modern crime.
I was saying even in training here, security forces no crano, totally. But I say old
yes.
Ghana was somebody poor.
Oh, and then you Ghana a majority of the African countries.
Yeah, Africa.
Until say ye be drew hono. Ghana ye we nim kakrampo chem. Some of the African countries.
Okay.
We are doing well compared to some of the African countries. But I will see it me doing pempens was say through technology, you beat me the combat crime. Because you see then now they share robbery you see at Abraka. You see then now robbery committee in a daylight. You need surveillance system throughout to be able to track. And not try
how weak we are.
Exactly. But through whatever UK, for instance, almost every 14 people have one CCTV camera looking after them. Street bien wa obefa yenhu. Bus bien wa obefra yenhu. Underground train bien wa before yenhu. At every given point in time, you bit me a track. They say you use schedule, you use bus pass. Bus pass and also no and the ticket to the full bus or the full train. The moment I only scan the bus pass now in the system you may be a war. Ama crime rate no every day you see. And now a mebruna e bus say no and a more into technology. Sebe. And Quacrafona Omono, they are not so open.
Born before computer phone.
They are not so open to security. And ayana the policy making and also equity problems because modern security means more money. And sometimes they think okay fine. Yen reducing the modern way of security and other bits and pieces. Now say police for try BB, which I thought was a very fantastic idea. They can tell from your car whether we're roadworthy. and I say oh your friend is saying insurance, which I think was a fantastic
idea. And then
idea.
even jumping red traffic.
Exactly. ABB was say itimi encourage abino edisika and find him. Now instead of custodial sentence say you do co prison, you're finding people heavy fines to finance the same initiative now. Abane the aban.
Won't be anything I'm saying you guys should come together and then form whether an association or a group or whatever, so that you can champion this. You can be on the toes of government. Now what me aye bibi. Okay, come home momo. I was say for this if I mind suni and I was so egua utie no na yenhwe security ho sensem ya yen nyina students in senior high schools the way as say one ma hyperactive e wo say sa abone no first we be ka say oh na wo ho na because say bia na social media e ma yenti no na microphone tenka but say na ase ya traso ye ko high level yenhwe a final year student of Accra Academy ya ni video na no ye ko viral okwabrane de brantine e map nam ehu ni nua ye call secondary school no ye homo ye and not to that level say be the second be boa na say bibi etesa. Now another one O'Reilly Senior High School the course wa ye stab one final year student e man wu ye just like that aka say me kwa ni baby a akwa akosie. A total of 20 students were arrested. Salaga Senior High School, Saravana region, almost so ekodi 7 say hunu sa. Police for here mono, they were able to retrieve a locally manufactured gun. As a student in home. As a Korean mampon, remanded 39 students of Kobia Scientific Technical and Vocational School, if you just as a Korea, almost caused damage to their school. And then some private properties being any at that. And after so bebre kwa. What is actually happening when no a charity begins at home? And it's yana unkoye, and I say be now for someone one do amuko now for school, and I say a DNA koswankasa in our secondary schools. Mommy,
a friend is saying this secondary schools and some a hard dream. But and yeah, and net and chance here.
Okay.
Through social media, you know, and my hunima branding 10. But baby, I yedri saying a year conefa, and no say on my money. Say, offer a brochure, na minim company be more Ghana CCA, on my a building technology, called the Genesis. Now, the idea is say, and Akolano, say no, they get put onto a database. Because the repercussions, you know, and they be created a deterrent. Say, Niami ye in Sunsuan Bain and a debe breme dati. And tinka Akolani ye say no, there's I know say Genesis, they are doing the most that they can say, they are encouraging private companies and secondary schools, especially boarding schools, you know, to roll onto the platform. Say Akolani committee crime, they get put onto this database. And what will happen is say, so we school pay jumano. This all adds up to 130 year and no background. And to the Sakwalakunim say, Niame Kwakoye, say ABM Ray University in Puana, before I go university, no, the university will run a search on me. Say, because secondary school no subain bain and anami womua. Because Sakwalakuni to me idea or secondary school, you can be rest assured so be do university. The tenancy is there. And you know, some of these things, you know, universities can introduce before be admitted. No, we will run a search on you.
I think some organizations, as I say, yes,
yes.
The moment you apply for a job, by interview, and as what they receive, you know, application, everything back, they will go back and look for your social media handle.
Exactly.
And then go through your posts. And Niama will post to Niama will come once now based on that, you say, this person say.
And Nuna and Amika say, where the many advert in my company, I am from Genesis. Ubetimi a referencing. School ubetimi a reference. AB and Kakolano Kobo Bisika, so you say no, you get onto the national database. So, Uyena say by university, they reference on you. Say, any history of crime, the university at the discretion can decide, say, Unim, Yemfao, because of Subaya, what done they do in the way. And she said, Akwalani will say, in so was what that you university, not say be obeying to the political officer. Those things, you know, can also prevent only Pakun from getting a certain position. See, to me, yes, sir, ebema suro kakra ewo timemufo side no are very very because abroche say every job you have every to do with children to do with the elderly you go through a background check. Background check and ebi onuma sebi osano okowia candy ewo shop and I am police but ya arrest no but akwala no data file so into that biano say wo ko page me bia you get history ehona say na ewiase no eko say yentimi anye saa de no a akola yi koya de university and so ye koya secondary school yi asa nipa refi but akola ni nim say dachi ebekun atiame a they'll be very mindful in some of the utterances.
Yes, and no in training the child no esa wo this ade no
etete no bayantito ya mount it ye bia enye sebi wodu wompani fie so ansa na obabi so bibi afrim na ye too late amount into no right from school no yemfa santete no but when him say mami security is not in any of our syllabus any of the school. So how can we become security conscious if you near?
Because at the end we need to teach it.
Educational I hope so. There have to be an element of security in there. And to know what the atitia kolano Emma onim the repercussions of some of the decisions that they take. But yentetia kolani in any aspect of security. And to know or you're blindfolded. Ni onimane se wodin semone ne maame agyanechi ohene bi agyanechi osofo bi agyanechi or the south musa amba be ye penimu
abeno why harden
enti a problem ni dey a very complex problem
swankasa
a very complex
more from more senior high school do you think say omo din semone a they need to be jailed?
Now because I don't believe in early custodian sentence because the worst punishment I'll bet me that will be a prison. So woman akwala with 16 years simple life imprisonment. By the time on do 45, now we pay. On so he bio because when him said the worst I'll be the man wakako experience ediaba. And most of the time, say you need a refined system when it comes to obifi prison APA. And most of the time, people leave prison not to be better, but to be worse. Majority of bigger deals are kosu or MAAME BIAMAH no statutory prison.
I know crime say scam. Mobile money scams and all those things coming from the prison.
Into prison there you don't go to prison to be better. So and you know a money being so to me put funding in place whereby e be nipa no wo prison crampo no otimi sua law, otimi sua bibi and at least on pie no enya 100% there but yenye die there's no any reform systems will be a prison. And once I swing you, and answer before Ebekabe few months near you know, and you try your easy way into the society by sweeping and winning. But that is not reforming exactly. And you know, we have a lot that we need to buy a secret in the same one. We have a lot that we need to pay attention to.
There was somebody poor.
Kakra, every
Educate Africa Institute. One more a year, these educational institutions one more edit so abandon them say we should allow students to use mobile phones in schools with strict regulations. How can that be?
Enyejuma
in what sense?
Enyejuma in a sense let's look at even our current discipline system in the universities, or sorry, in the schools. Teacher ni intimate discipline akolas here. Your punishment in terms of caning and nothing are performed drastically.
A free one, yes.
And to know what measures are you going to use if you say strict? How? The best thing to do is to avoid it. Because kakre impa ye way yentimi em manage me ko Freudia. And then one of the teachers of Nisha said, say no by laws abano untimi nka say obo akola. Untimi nka say wo tricking a discipline akola bi you. Wo teacher ni no you come under. Enti no say bibi to say akola no empra ne plot and now say onye ne bathhouse duties impo any ain't mean restricting more money. How do you intend to control mobile phone usage? Policy being and I would demand teacher ninwa sa kwalano e use e abusing na obey. And for me personally, I disagree. Unless they can come up with a countermeasure that empowers the teachers or the school authorities, they can use their discretion to do this without any fear nor favor. No, I will not personally support it. Because near woman see and what's the level of discipline? Go to private schools now, look at the level of discipline. Go to public schools now and look at the level of discipline. And it's okay say you introduce your day when the public schools are at the end of the day, no, what measures are you putting in place? If even the existing measures are flawed. And for me personally, make us say unless they come up with a different kinds of countermeasures, no, for me, I don't think so it will work.
Frank, how we are going to tackle these security issues also in schools more as branch juniors in the name of homoing them now causing harm to them. How should we handle this as educational institutions?
I think Mame may call me first. I only school one term in Ghana. May call me first term. Near free baby motorcycle. Mame make to say me what is a motorcycle. Me when I say me boy who was saying. Until homoni dear ewo, but now senior house masters no, and so any senior house mistress no, and na ye tia in the dormitories. Until at the end of the day no, a bi no ma unexpectedly. Now we be so. A bi money or kitchen inspection, and no omo mudi fi entire eba boarding house no. Oh hono mo na ya ba yesimunra ceiling near yi sane money nyina near season. Sane money nyina no eboa emane keve this indiscipline. But no entisa. So entino say if the headmasters can reaffirm some of these things because and not but that is the only way. Now at the same time there have to be a harsh punishment if it comes to light.
So should we bring back this corporal punishment?
I think so. The good old days whereby my senior house master just said doko oncho baby adosi. So you have internal suspension whining say or say doko.
So I know atobo.
Until what will be do be no. Sabi next time you say who yem poa who drink kakra and say na why. And don't forget say omo ye emebuna ye tete won. So won enti no say ya moment tete any ye because sabi mama e entity ya woja ene wona ene wo teacher ene wo sofo de ma ene enema bi wo hono ma wontimi nye ene keep you online sa entity no ene ma Ghana asundue kopim bebe ya babedure say ye free wa then a different outcome ene ye woman enti no sankofa yinchi enti ye empower some of the headmasters ye empower some of the teachers no to actually create discipline ewo ye schools him because awofo no enya available all the time and they Ghana ba be sabe abroche obia every time bia wo ye adwuma wo ye busy enti no eya awofo eye teacher for no and omo time omo ye dedicated to betimi de a discipline ye ma no say ye yi sa to me no efrom nchen how do we intend to discipline the children?
When you see a cassia, this punishment is babaka, these child rights activists in as if they will rise against the state.
Mommy, oh, say case me want me right. Mommy, your right, your personal right does not go beyond certain things. And you know, you have the right, for instance, remember bad example, you have your right to commit suicide. But it's here on my name, Rano. But I am right. And you know, say when it comes to the known of the authorities, I can be jailed, even though I am right.
You said they assess some.
Oh, and no, na. Okay, now one show you.
And yeah, do one was the
oh, and you know, so me want me right. Yes, you have your right, but all right, you know, there were limitations. It will be a epim. And you know, you have your right to say, Abia, Obeka say, Minye say, and I mean you say. And you're right to say, seat belt, but on mine say, it's yamra.
Yeah.
But you're right. And you know, I'll say, you more education as to the so-called right, you know, the limitations of the right. And yes, idea we are getting carried away too much. And more in Chilima. And we are also hoping to say in Chilima never be future leaders. Into what kind of future leaders are we grooming?
Franklin that's
Because you want me to be that immediately for you.
I was here for Franklin Leonard say yes security analyst and out see and no abo and come hwe my wish sanka you bet me atoa so ni nyina ye mano enti na yetu sa anamoyi abusia nita fa me mainti na waso egu a me maintain wasugu awutie no abusuya yenya ma ha so said the studio ha a hit no me kra me ho yira me said the studio ha no a hit no me ho yira me kra President John Dramani Mahama menim say educational forum amu ye menim say wo ho but fa waso ba ko etiem wo ha say Mahama wasom party ne papa wasom say Godwin Ayaba Mahama ai menen da waha wa Mr. Ofanoko Ghana gas mame why Mr. wa na masumu nyome fa no kwa Ghana gas as PR why na no so ne de agu eti new law eti President Mahama we dey mpacho His Excellency ma Lodina ena me akra no meye vice president ni miniature ewa ha Vice President Professor Nano Pokwaji and Yechaneme. Eti Vice Wediam Pacho, Bedimanu Tumbi, Godwin Ayaba Mahama, Mufano Ghana gas, Mamma Wate, the Hona Nakoma, and then I dream in our Mr. Moody will be cohope, if I will be collapse. Bibi Bayano, Bibi Ben, I mean to mean Kahwasan, Etim Pamucho, Mufano Ghana gas, Mamma, Masum and Yume, na what it's my brabo or to many jesu, papa. Godwin Ayaba Mahama. I was here for me mamunya na akwaba.
Na answer na meji so wanka biama na now.
Ebinum anana de awa pribi. Na pesa kwai.
Na juma na ye ni fia no. Nkwala juma.
Because
obo mi fisa. Mahama de waye juma de em say mampani kura ehu. Because ono ni videos no de wo bia bia no ne me kon Facebook and de
Mahama dia.
Na emfi anana bo yes abo anuma wo ho o se de oto tie ne ball no enye onu na ne ho ahia o na ya me China me dane me ho na wa me twade onu ne ho asite Godwin Mahama de no anti no ba ha obe ha me na de na ya then this if we asanita no o si obi wukra ene de no ene nana omo na omo ho ashi mo ambo awo omo de ayo
onim say me hu ni enti a special prosecutor
o ben ko fa sen we me pe de omo yiyi nkrofo edi no
ogusu na mkrum ha so we declare no one thing does it make sense
beba acho abusiafo na nkomo aye ba bebo no edosu ye papa minority omo attend this one is coming from former information minister Fati Abubakar and Okase parliament. I said majority no as omo yi ma wasam na wo beka no okasa no ma enchene emrem fanchine tum ubetimi aka wasam waputu wasam no across fe temdidie bia minority are standing to majority because of English language majority omo how am betimi I express omo ho no wo form inti amai say minority for na majority stands omo no omo tebrofo pa omo no eden afei so Martin Amidu Alamisi Amidu and ono so edia to just say those who are behind Oforiatta's residence raid no should be arrested and prosecuted. And now the office of the special prosecutor, he has finally published a wanted notice for Ken Oforiatta, former finance minister of the Republic of Ghana. How can okay?
Oh, I say na wa sha se.
How say?
Na onim baby papa no. Say papa natural.
Na me abisa me dem
onim. Say papa natural letter. Ni doctor so atwere ni letter. Ni lawyer so atwere ni letter.
Yeah
na mpom te say.
And also the plane mo
pa. Me hu ye pa.
Ye de rade ase. Mama akwaba, nyame adom.
MAAME BIAMAH.
Akwaba.
Yeah, me
hu watch and then what's happening? Because I never delete to the free register no. And waba.
No, udi ka. MAAME BIAMAH pempen so ayedu no. Even though aban ne nko ahi bia ye no the one near ma call no say yamfa ye nan ensifem amfa ye nti ambobo baabi a emfa yanhwe yi a ye bedi ye ndok no kwa
ana ye bedi di agamo.
That is the fact. That's the fact, but we are still hopeful.
Okay,
say something good will come out of it.
I pray so.
Yes, we are still hoping. Until last week I said me call some rounds that create. I thought sanka meeting me akona but baby I me call so no omuji yen phone. So when I realized time a bit me there was no way I didn't have access to my phone to call your producer say meet me but so be a dance here me feel wow
friend.
I had a conversation with him and told him why I didn't come. Maybe I'm there anopa we before me ba hanom no John Mahama say me kan chiro bibia say said the amrane sre no wa declare the asset enne wa ye asset declaration wa declare the asset ama all the appointees up to 31st March say one declare asset
asamaton
obe sanction
no to the extent for beju the breakfast.
Yeah, because you see sometimes who are ben mu that is what you refuse to do. Who are ben mu you give information out. So even though that's what you did and lost. Learn it is information here no me ba me take advantage na mama because we were until say John Mahama declare the assets asan ahye appointee say by 31st
of March
what when declare no obe sanction to the extent so obetimi age wo appointment aye den because all along before na most appointees at the same man here then edia gro edc and it is I think it has become a worried people say pandit etna se beka issue no only when asema ba sa appointee ne ho no ansa na obehu se panelist can you say declare the asset and say we declare the asset then now we will be forcing the president to force the appointee say o mun declare omo asset. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama pese you be do damn pempen so no ansa na ya force say declare your asset as early as possible no declare your assets. And the educational forum no so him say it is also happening. It started yesterday to say about Jim Crawford the stakeholders in our educational sector. They are said they are holistically yebetimi a position young educational sector very very well.
Okay.
Na yenya quality rather than quantity.
Okay. Na Arade Akwaba.
Any amame.
Ibi aboko de.
We are show my name straight and akwa we are coming to ko be na dia me say my good boy opew. Oh
no.
Me mani hami.
Oh no.
But odincha free owura mahama ho ebre yen. Na ni refi nchia ne baako.
Ene de he.
Faso no kan che Ghana for mrantie ne mabawa. Ene wo mo yafa wo adwuma.
Na oji create position. No man.
Oh refi you can.
He came as government spokesperson and should have been given information. You see, I open information BFE, the government of the day. Not the opposition MPP. To John Mahama man and
kill me.
Nanado never sent you, but you want John Mahama to send. Yes,
and come on now, Nimidi or the cram you and the buy. Say Bakuno, Uran is your chia and our declare the assets. Na de toso mienu ni se Ghana mrantie ni mabawa so mo ayafa mo adwuma mu 2024 ni nyina mo peu
wanka 2024 nyina
mo peu
wanka 2024 o say after December 7.
Oh na mami me phone no nti na me see o mo charge
bank and o me dey buy say why fa September 2024
Ghana water November Ghana water letter na aba Ghana water November obi anko fie obi dia ya June Ghana water no
appointment letters were backdated.
Me say ya fa ne say granted mami maka cha ne say no me fo ane so ono de owura mahama aye ono owura mahama no
they say who come to sign
to me nchia no na ni refi say o say ye ba yimwadi 133 yes say adwuma bebre be ba Ghana because o de adwuma ba ko nipa miensa na eba question edikaya me bisa no ye question edikaya say me bisa owura mahama ketwa no
what bisa na
ketwa no say me bisa ketwa no na me kama kese na ati say o si obema adwuma ba ko nipa miensa ye be say wa fa minister ba ko ni adwuma minister adwuma ba ko no nipa ba ko na okay yo ministry account chief executive unso chief executive unso na oh me
I was here for needs 100.9 and I was so egua no declaration of assets by the Ghanaian politician is 19 to dozen because Ghanaian politicians acquire properties in the names of their relatives. Did Mahama declare the Airbus too? Didn't Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa just tell the whole world that he is living in a rented house at Airport Hills for 8 years? Where was he living before the 8 years? I know if you come na gentle honomum. Luma MKD Joseph. Madam, good afternoon. I think the government should reintroduce punishment to our schools because the indiscipline is too much, as if they are going to hook up schools or fashion shows. I have never seen students insulting president in my time of schooling. James Mensah and was MAAME talking about homoing in secondary schools. Some of us experienced the crude forms in our days in some of the top schools in Cape Coast. I did the Form 5 and 6th form in 2 different top schools. It wasn't easy at all. Baba Mahama Obuase, people are still in the forest reserve doing illegal mining left and right, as if there is no leadership in the country. Azeman Ventures, Chronom opposite the market. Corruption is the main problem causing the development of the nation. So I urge President Mahama to do everything possible to fight corruption to protect the public purse. Baba Oyibo Boateng Atwima Nebehim. And also the reintroduction of PTA shouldn't be an avenue for milking parents because parents are already suffering. And so what they about now obi can your friend is saying obi Azeman Ventures a corruption. Some I spoke to one I did a governance expert and I said lawyer na bibisa some time ago. And I know I can say yen corruption no yentimi ntwase ne entimi ntwase chena until say yen constitution no ya review ama powers are ye ama attorney general no yetimi asesem because the powers are too much. It is yanse some dia any ye beko so a edidi sa it is na now mama kwai office of the special prosecutor finally published wanted notice for a former finance minister of the Republic of Ghana and Pacho Meisha say Eddie Efriosom Republic of Ghana Ken Oforiata or so a fugitive from justice and home corner bansen bebre no waka kan nyina monim sam ye mi bisa ne say ye di kan ye nte say ya arrest Ken Oforiata ye nte say ya charge no kwan bia so and I don't know bia they did it in camera and obi anhunu a maybe between them and his lawyers are I don't know. How do we declare somebody say or ye fugitive from justice? Sorry.
Mena. Maha.
Major Sonana.
Maminchi aminu anu ma meni wongeshia ewie eye ora adade eni ora God Mahama. Yeguswa erehwe enim se yenu God Mahama at least Tuesday afternoon squad. Danka yenu Mahama so wanyane office bia ye pon fi ha danka yetumi afa ho ansa ya pon akofie na eni se 1837
yes me me mo kwa akoye den
oh sane ye ni nyina na edi dwuman wa ha nti se bia Tuesday bi aha ye nya information bi na epese ye de mana ye hu na at least ye koni officer obema ya konwa na ya num coffee bi nti President Mahama we de adisrade ene edi to anim sane a emabunu no wada wakoma so no bomoden na ma obabunu kama Gordon Mahama wa namesake mani baby na senia mehu se MPP aban obae no baby wo home pa na ye nim se wotumi appoint ni pa wo na won ama ye hu yi de bon homoden na emabu na ewo o party ni mu no wonya adwumanye because na enye MPP aban a nka me nim se even the positions of PRO, the positions of what can they human resource managers and nasifu ni nyina no about to meet na ni office no appointed but he say wa ma yehu yen continue na mmabunu nya adwumanye because se yanya ne saa ebedu mribi no na won adam kokra wonye obi anhwe won MAAME BIAMAH me da se wode asemi atumanim asemi ne ha me kakra na debia mikesi office of the special prosecutor yatunu short OSP so ebia esan say corruption any investigations hun sem efa officials what power ana one ponso a wo ye adwuma o civil service any enkeka ho obi biara wo hwani say bia wadi drum bi any kata so she bia esese ye ne ho hwehwemu no asoya ho na what to see was one year. But I have a big problem because Mede Sasuyeho is needless to me. And it is waste
of the special prosecutor.
It is waste of the taxpayers' money. And I'll continue to say it because it is a duplication of about 5 institutions yawo memuha. Yawo CID, yawo NIB, which is formerly BNI, yawo Iyoko, yawo Shiraj. In fact, yes, also Attorney General's office. And sana menu any ora dadeni Godwin nyina so yes anwo vigilante fo a obi wiade a yetumi wo ho kwan se ye kire ne ye de na ko police station. Anamboa. Ina nyame adom President Mahama nso ba no say no. O hwe sa adwumaku yi a wo ho nyina ya. Ayesi say obi peso odka nsem bi kire obi a aya na how nti menso metew oral team bi na won so won atumi aye nhwehwemu bi a se edimu a no won kukuru dia koma attorney general emi say wan kase no won kukuru dia koma special prosecutor ana oka ne sa na mante oka ne sa se already the act na ema special prosecutor by na o say it is a special office designed to take investigations in corrupt practices. And yes, sir. Act no
in 2017 and 2018 and as our office in establish establishes our office no ye bi say hu say sika hin na office no na sika hin office na tumi agi aman as man. So why wouldn't I say it is needless? Nipa bien na ye de wan akogu sa office ho ya bo won ho ka to extend say staff secretariat wo ho won ayi adwuma wo ho nyina onim say won ayi adwuma apology fu wom CID fu wom yoko fu wom attorney general office fu wom. Into why then do you create that office na ukofa sa nkrofo we nyina nso a their investigation institution? So for me it is needless. Now let me explain to you why I also say it is needless.
Okay.
Papaya nanse also a friend Ora Kisi Ajabin. I answer na ndinte. Kisi Ajabin. I answer na ndinte. So a lawyer ni. Ne aswe na what the man na missy. Need duties is to make sure say he bring to bear the corrupt officials. No, did they include press conferences? Mpacho, did they include press conferences? When him say we investigation. Now the moment I already be able to go no. Nipa na we investigation. I found what done also. It is a biribi necessary. We under suma say ade now the shishema. The mere fact that we have a press conference, we cover up. If I am not mistaken, I can tell you for a fact to say, near Papa Nebeye or Honum, a plan B. Because already, send a beya can ufuriata baby or ubia, he will cover his ass before coming. Because wukru ya wawa mayati asisi, Papa no baby or she be onim baby or she. Now unim so she baby, into by a press conference in the fine. So say, Niama awori yen hwehwema fa ne ho ni eni ABCD. Nhwehwem wa ya akosi hi. Ehi no wadu. Ghana for all that we are interested in say, we yen nhwehwemu no, ewi achi no, or the scanner brain, ana say ye de na koto afiase. But nhwehwemu ro sha ase na ape, no we declare. Nti papa no obibi oseso ya. Quickly obeye. Quickly obeye. Yet your memu ha. Enya papa ne nkwa na obo ni din o. Obo Owura Mustafa Hamid. Obo mpanyifu bi. Mustafa Hamid. Yani ni nyina na eti omam ha. Ontu kwanko baabi. Onko baabi ai. Onu mu na nkasa beka se. Onya invitation bi a kire se they are investigating him. Nti ai den ono nso kra odi ni din betugwa. But make catch the special prosecutor. He say papa no onko no nko kire ni ntem. Because wabu mra. Emra Mustafa Hamid. Onko non chire no. On chire
declare wanted ni.
Na so investigating no. Now investigating a chire no because niema na why no wabu mra so. Because on to me onko to me mfa ne pe enye niema bi a oye wona aso ye ho. Ono onim niema why na ye mu bi no se yakase ye huru no wa ha. Mustafa Hamid niema bebre no why emfa mra kwa mu. Otumi tuaka over 30 million Ghana cedis a month. Emma aso ye a he doesn't have the right to do that. But at the end of the day, he's doing it. And on I'm free. On I'm free. Sika, what 20 pesos? Edu miribino, on what tomorrow could do 90 pesos. Bisa won't say, in the period of 90 pesos, no, or 2 mukoen, 70 pesos, no, and he finally can find. Nina won't train yet. Cash here, or person, or Hunano Hayao. Inviting him, Cassie Matching. And I be no actually na ya no person obeka train. And he's only interested in making sure say because of Oriata hu ye hinti omebo ni di na Ghana for ye move more. That is not what we wanted. All that we wanted is that yes na se papa ni hu ye bufu. O na ni hu ye hin. Ni hu ye bufu. Na so oka hu na Ghana baby du baby adu. Obi o so nje pay. Na so boso mi ni sika dani bank no. To me ye nsawam to nsawam to adults lor kwan. Sautasi enti yembi se hu se san krofu we nyina wo ho wontumi anka bibia nkyerɛ no akofa press for akogina media houses so mukɔ no kansem a mumbisa ne nsɛm mubisa no question obisa na den no kan o say he is not well equipped dem biem ne ansan yɛ wɔn atɔ ama oka no tie ni nyina bulletproof nti obi shutu kura nya hwe nti is he another president we have? You see, the talking is too much in this country. We need action. let the action flow. What to me ye? I don't know. Now what to me ye? Na edinson so ansu bi aba. We can be able to be clapping for you. But man kwa ye press conferences. Emani Lukwasib say niama na oye ni nyina na kwanso na oye. Me wano papa yi Mustafa Hamid o wan fitiri he ya. Unim nia waye. And odi ababe tuju say 1.3 then. Sika so is more than that. And the man is working. No no mo ndwa nanum. Say, and if indeed you are ready to do your work, you will not come and do press conference and let Oforiata so France when we say I should into Obegwako Germany. And I only that is how it is. It is once I wouldn't say the man is a wanted person. Over Metuga. And once I will investigation, baby will be a non fanemra. Me one so crano, according to new lawyers, what's the only son Tiapo. Now don't swear. MAAME BIAMAH
information me nya is on OSP and Oforiata lawyers daily. I don't know how why must he come out?
One say nhwehwanim basa bia mpanyifo bi ye na okoka wo se ade na oka papa nanim nsumi ho ane oye ne enye so say obi ya ade na enya e se okasi nanim yes eye bribia ye adwumadi bia ye de ahye won sese ye nhwehwamu man MAAME BIAMAH what is say yokofu anasi adifu onga ye wo hwehwe be wanted no aba be ye press conference makana fu nyina hu say we are looking for asimesi on this even class a police fu hwehwe be no wadi 10,000 pa what in dimba people want to me one pronounce say where wakako we are 10,000 what say is wanted for some offenses and yes sir in your case what you aba tugwa ina say inti say baby a obetumi asiu ne to ano no obefa people say yakove ni nyina enu nti na me say eye game. It is a Lenjima method. Mra eko school near our method be a use my teachers no. A Lenjima method. As a method no use pay obi oko kwa man bi atiase. Na just say master be reba inti pe baby tell. So to say inti papa na use a Lenjima method. E di ama Ora Ken. Inti Ora Ken is going to cover his ass. And then by the time no bebe say ore bagana ha no. Obeka say o paper ya ni document we ni. Adan na odi betu gwa. Wanyade asua ho no woboyenka kahun no woboyen owura Mahama enye Gordon Mahama owura President John Dramani Mahama mesre awie se utie yen a asua na wo friend special prosecutor scrap it off. Oh yes, it's needless oboyenka. How much do they pay him every month? Staff egu ho nyina no are staff of various institutions.
And security wakohoda
Mr. Staff egu ho nyina
security detail no Charlie
na me say won nyina no why adwuma we so what is all this even ora mpo a what ba nan say is that the way they have the security details and so what by no they have been able to let us know say they are going to retrieve $20 billion for Ghanaians. Hearsay into mo start in if even what je 2 billion cry abeboy because you to me call IMF ko je 3 billion. It is a 1 month. One to me even 2 billion for Ghana. I say bon ambaso. Na mnyade ba kwa mi hu special prosecutor ho a. I am hu akakra ni say. Oh hu say ora timi wo the 1 month. Etumi aba be kasa say nkrofo ya beat me. And ma me mbra bonting na me meka biribi. Na Ghana hu say me adwuma. Anu ti no di mirika no. Because why you ni hwehwemu awia nkom be ye ne obeye yi. Or person making sure say he's also alive. And he's also there. But I can tell him for a fact, me, I will advocate to say that Aswaya should be scrapped off.
That's Nana into a Merichi. Nana so
a Pesamaka of Adoso. Yes. Aha. Oh, Debbie. May I just say,
Adoso, Pesamaka.
That's right. And Tina Debbie, I know I am the spokesperson and the PRO for the chiefs and people of Adoso. It is a bribi ba Adoso. No one be hume ne yanka ho asema. Uko jina baby come to miss you. Yes.
See. That's it.
Me hina ma me power. Say me humri bi na nya mitumi tena baby aka bo ho dawuru. Nti so obedu Adoso. Na wo ye niam bi na nkoyi a I have the right to bore you car.
Mama, my memory also on the OSP publishing the friends no wanted notice on Oforiata.
I'm my way there. Me any issue be a mommy, but before I make call the communique out now. I still need to put it out from the Corporate Affairs Directorate of National NIA, National Identification Authority. According to Amono, since 2023, there has been a shortage of empty card. And until be no, the registration now by intimi print. But as at Endra, Omonsa etimiaka about 700,000 empty cars are very soon. No, on best artist or more air printe Ediama and Crawford. Wanga ombenya cars ni be first timers. And one be replacement. And one be update of personal information. And information in such as say nipa about 600,000 cars and a war NIA. The various districts and regions are also putting in some mechanism and making sure say that nipa 600,000 na ya print your card ama na card ni gusu da ho ombeji no. They will soon put in some mechanism to make sure say microphone sabaye den ebeka omo card. But the new announcement they say omenya 700,000 empty cars are on Besha say they printed the backlog of 2023. New issuance, card replacement, and update of personal information. This is the information that just came out from the Corporate Affairs Directorate of the NIA. Until you person register BI, you can go and do because card in your first say empty card in your empty card in your antico. The MD has been able to negotiate with their partners. Amandra, about 700,000 empty cars to start printing cars for the people. And this is the reset John Mahama has always been talking about.
Yes.
On the issue of OSP, me say me na me box time no with third topic no. Because third topic I need to do a brief of it because me need much time no. I mean person me use much time no very simple. OSP declare former finance minister fugitive. Or say or investigate former finance minister. The essay put you on record. They said nobody is above the law. No. Even per the 1992 constitution, I must say, we are president now. We can't investigate you. So if you are you bet me only investigate you in the first 3 years after you've left power. Nansu yenya nanado danko akufado. After 3 years of John Mahama LFI power in 2016, officially H1 cracked Akoma OSP. Say you investigating a former president, which was even above or which was even against the constitution because he had gone past the 3 years the constitution requires. Say we a former president and within only that 3 years, I investigate you. For the purposes of transparency and investigation, they forgo that law. I'm a president and kasa churokrata koma OSP. Say you John Mahama and Semu Anamebwa. This is on record. It is also on record. Say His Excellency John Romani Mankasa Kase. Onu Ofia Benwane Sono. He stayed in this country to be investigated. So a former appointee stay in this country
at the
and meet
expense of
investigation. Don't worry, we'll go there and meet investigation. This is the same finance minister or instigating the investigation and prosecution process against any finance minister, Dr. Kessel Atoforsen. The same finance minister. And I know shall see instigating that frivolous prosecution against Eden Assessor. Mind your man. My member of some 3 instances care of those sicknesses. And that was the vision of John Mahama. Until no share Rich Hospital, Bank of Ghana, and UGMC Hospital. I say, Sankaban we were men wo our yakume moi. They should have gone more than where we ended, because John Mahama spent only 4 years. I'm spending 8 years. Now, so your health sector is even worse than the Ayedi Emma. And ne unamama no say OJ ayarehe. Which hospitals did you build in 8 years? Because of your worst scanning, you can go. So you came, spent our money, stole us, and ne oditi man no say OJ ayarehe. We leave that to God. When you share, and Rena, you have pass E-levy. So kaya. There was an MP who was bedridden. Ah no, yare pa da yare mpaso. Ontimi ponkasa, ontimi nante. Because MPP person mo pass E-levy nintinu. Omo fa kwanya se bia so ekofa ambulance. E de ne ba parliament. E de ne to stretcher so. E de ne ko rap parliament ma ye kan no e for me korum. E mo de pass E-levy. Ti say who twa sa na wa hwe weti o. Because they made us to believe that there was nothing impossible. And until on 2024 manifesto, no say it is possible. Because everything was possible. And until we ko fa obi fi yare mpaso. And the ko parliament ko pass E-levy. Even though Ghanaians were against E-levy, because we passing here, you know, they got the backlash. And after Ombe Institute, People's Forum, okay. I know Munam region by region now convincing Ghanaians to accept E-levy. 2. Andiama. The same E-levy time. Now the then MP4 Domi Kwabenya Adwasafo. We were told, say, now our critical condition, anameboa, critical health condition, on one kasa ene ba, anameboa. Now so by any person who pass E-levy, they did everything possible to the extent that Kennedy and Japan catch and say, former chief of staff, eman billions of Ghana cedis. Some fan koma Adwasafo, nombra Ghana. No one team pass E-levy. This is the worst of Kennedy and Japan. Until now, MPP ni beyond team dispute any of that thing. And the day in Assasa, until I yent me find everything possible means. Emma Kennedy Ken Oforiata Emma. Adiama Ubakaya before MPP be fear be nwaso.
Say nipa eso yare
o
hwe no yare nti say no
emri po no yare a sabi na oba ye na funu aya akese kurampo na 2 minti when MPP were calling say ne hu mfa no na do yi ni si nchen no nya kwanya emfa hwe no hu yare so kai am MPP for MP about almost 190 something even did press conference. Say papa no na pomudi enye de emmoa no. What happened? He still stood and wept simply because 2 minutes na yene de. No nim di onya. No nim di arenansi so. And no nim di ana what na so ama president. Today what has changed? The American kosi ni na ne say the OSP all the powers we have Interpol. We have all the powers to bring the man back to this country to face prosecution and investigation. Ma enye worse. Kasa press conferences. For me need problem with press conference. As Nana had a problem because another means public officials kasa excellent man for. So there is nothing wrong with it. For the first time, yenya an attorney general filing a nolly prosecutor. Our organizing press conference to address the people. It has never happened in the history of this country since 1992. because AGBR is not mandated to give reasons for putting in nolly prosecutor. And I understand my example because under MPP there were several nolly prosecutor filed. Me Delta Force or Mobora yen court. Emma na judge na oyo pimfo ejani jan in Pabua our courtroom. They vandalize our courtroom. And the AG then filing nolly prosecutor without giving any reason. The American cousin in Nane say, as for that side, me need problem. Nambiama, we have all what it takes to bring Ken Oforiatta to this country. And the enemy they say, OSP no a bent in doing that. Wamano ultimatum to come voluntarily. Wamba voluntarily, the next step will be taken. My national chairman, Johnson Esiedun Ketia, has also reiterated, baby Bia Ken Oforiatta will be, he will be brought. Because Papa will cause havoc in this country. Waman ne esikafa da ne hiafo. Because of the bad policies. Papa bi timi area. No ye adwuma one of the banks. Nana. And they kwa autumn force. And they kwa the autumn force. Because of bad policy of the government. Vindictiveness. Because young gun for bank. Na me bank enye ye. That man cannot go scot-free. So for me, whether a yo and yo, they are gonna 4 pennies say. And we need our money back. And then John Mahama said IMF air for an extension of your policy. Also, Dabi. And that is the way we have to go. We have to be self-sufficient. And Yesusu say, I misplaced priority, wastefulness, and Amma Ghana said ya niska but ye wiska. It is a crofo and public office so adio monsa bogana skemua. Mambiama, they must avail themselves for accountability. For me, maka whether on yario, OSP no enimumra. OSP no also at a point in time be near in consultation with the Attorney General. Because Article 88 gives a sole power to the Attorney General for prosecution. That is it. Intinu, so Mankasa share the extent of the sickness. No, for me, the legal brains will come together to take a decision. I'm a layman, you're also a laywoman. But so much to say, a danko that do correspondent be, and a way trana way atura. We will not allow that to happen in this country. Because MPP has been wicked to the economy of this country. And they won't go scot-free. On former deputy communication officer and seminar. No, some me time, I simply me cabo. In Sembi Wahwa, when I saw the topic before God the man, I nearly called Odami to tell Odami say, only fit topic name. But upon second thought, editorial policy.
More what can you?
I can't. But I thought say that topic is needless.
I didn't.
Because Usi Denka say majority anti brofo. And nama I said their majority minority abeye majority. And the majority abeye minority. Why do you say that?
In friends promoting your local language in Parliament. And a man make it that.
Is it because of the local dialect a man kind?
Yeah.
Then I can tell you that your former information minister, sorry to say
the other don't say.
No, she didn't reason far.
How?
Because Menyan Krofua Omo advocate say we must get to a time Yabema local dialect will play on the floor of parliament.
Okay.
It's a matter of going for is it translators? Translators. It is and I have heard a lot of people applauding the man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you this. It is a ni basis ne say NDC ni akoka chi enunti yente brofo. Then Fatima is opaque in terms of reasoning.
Papa no kind or MPP NDC.
I don't even know.
Independent.
But so now if that is the basis there, then she is opaque. She is not promoting made in Ghana and our culture. I'm telling you this.
One can in direct, maybe one can in direct form say be a majority and but expressing ourselves in English, some people have difficulty.
Let me ask you a question.
It could be said. It's our official language. Whether we like it or not, we have to do it.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
This is a question. We are in the 9th parliament, eh?
Yeah.
The 8th parliament on NDC side, more than 70% who were in the 8th parliament came to the 9th parliament.
Okay.
So 8th parliament now about 70 by you know. Were they not speaking English?
They were.
MPP for I can tell you even more than I think about half. And I know more 8th parliament they came back to the 9th parliament. And let's go head to head. Is she saying say Afenyo Markins etebro for say Mama Yariga? Kofi Bua Ato Forcing Agaga. I can go on and go on. Mutala Mohammed, Dr. Ayeni. These are brains that we need in parliament, including the speaking of English. Me assure say all cut now no yet prepared. Okasawa. I have heard people calling on the majority. Say I'm calling to the floor of parliament for her to apologize. Because I'm pony brofo otini saying. And I just realized say you're even Nordner. Nordners are not trained that way. She should be careful on your bar. She should uncouple in the public life.
How are Nordners
trained? Me say, I am a Nordner. Uncouple in the public life with the culture and how she is brought up.
That's it.
Because umpe. Ambiama, adi a obeye wahano. Me bana mitie une expert na oka say charity begins at home. So even though ambiama uti consonate no, sometimes worse one calculate here they will trace you to how you were brought up. Anameboa. Intini the American said, "Minim baby ofiba." It is exact place I'm also coming from. It's money education and money reinfi the culture and how she was brought up. I think she goofed and it's better she apologizes.
Thank you. Adade.
Amen. Wakasa safe mi refi di enti kura me bad.
Adade OSP has finally published wanted notice for Kenoforiata.
Mamenchia na menchia Menua Mahama Ketwano.
Yoti hey.
Yoti menchan wa hano. Nana. Nana Emrechi. Ena obia wodem habia. I mean say my do. Me ensem na ekukoso no. Media me Ghanani. So for a long time. Man, so and you are not feeling well. Wakasa do and the why do. Oh. What can I remember why? And that be sister for now mobile Monday no mungwana bet me a Kenya. Wait. And Pacho. Maybe you are now. Okay, Mami, auntie, yeah. David, auntie, me confuse me. The OSP no answer more or come. Me de masemi ba kupe. Say ye the Jawa, ye the Swao. Auntie Ghana man penny any one more tiakunyasu. Omonhwe OSP no so adwuma no so biom me foa obia na adwene ye ne se OSP nhihye no say ohun adwuma na ni so yie o say dan yo me so say ma adwene ya akosa niam bebre si o mai mu to the extent say obi kura mpo de ye de na court ebu anofo say ye sika woni ho na court de na atum na wadwane na OSP ni wo mai mu mante da say ya declare obia wanted na why fugitive because me the word fugitive no before na do me see charge by fugitive e ma wo enchi MY miensa obia ya ye na asemu hwehwemu na wadwane letters na ye kan ho asem no obia e online obia frema obia online ma
wo say a person who has escaped from captivity
one
or is in hiding
two
fugitive from justice
akaba akunda ba kon ase
quick to disappear
no de to so miensa no de hin na efiti owura kenofori atapa hwe I say kenoforiata ho aye hyin wo kwan bi so wo ba bi man krofo bi enti omun nya adaje interrogate the special prosecutor ye ne yi because I say ho ahyin dada enti so de aba ene ye money ye mpreko nanso nsem o keka fa papa ne ho no mame let us now o ka ho asem why invite nipa no 31st the dates ni ye
okay
31st January
no invite
na ne omuchro letter ni lawyers
no first letter ana
no ochro or invite no na letters na ye hu na e public domain 31st January na ne lawyers ne twere bre o say what twere letter ama yen say wo hia yen client no nanso ne ho dodo no na onti apo nti oni o mai mu
okay
nti ye besre say letter no wa ha mekan ama osisi a say ye besre wo say wo pese wo hu nanimu a na che say OSP natural letter so pese wo hu papa nanim
face to face
so wo pese wo hu nanim na wo ni tna ho face to face dia and ye say ye after match
oh okay
letter we call ye on the 31st on the 5th oh letters ni na awa
another for the mame na wo kasa na me kan push mame
nti oye wie ye no na OSPG letter no on the 5th of Sunday letter fufro after 5th now or Sunday yes we date near on the 7th me pushama me send amount
all the three
na or Sunday or che letter ni wie no na OSP sama no letter fufro eno no na ekire say OSP anji de ti said your kan wo ne press conference no no wanyi na ni say oyare ampa papa na back ababe kan kire yen say obetu kwan no onti apo ampa na obetu kwan no kokra chief of staff a ono ne penso because onim say oye obi a oiwaya aban nipa nti okra ni chief of staff current chief of staff or Tihonso osan kokokra ne say me ho dodo me kwa yarehwe enti no me kwa yarehwe yes the current chief of staff received the letter in the correspondence please let me finish enti owie ye no o say wa kra current chief of staff nso na okra current chief of staff no wa na onsan no otu kwan nti o aka ni nyina ni lawyer for na aka ni nyina akire OSP say onti ase nti letter na America ni we ye from Minka Premo Osebonso Bruce Kathleen and partners Kenofriata lawyers ni letter we is dated 7th February 2025 then na masha ma no na ma yenhwe ni lawyers no de almost read no o can say they prayed him. We shall be grateful if any attendance in person required by your august office is fixed, taking into account the medical report from his doctors. Inti memo medical report ni here. And then inti we no kanchre no. Now oka in the second paragraph now say please find attached here to a document indicating that our client is receiving medical attention at Mayo Clinic in the USA, detailing his appointment and timeline suggestive of the post-match date when our client may be able to be in Ghana. Inti papa na inti apo Ghana ha owura mahama na otime nkyɛn no. Ɔno nso ɛka sɛ onim sɛ papa no enti apo. Ye nyina ye hu papa we. Time a ɔbɛkan budget no. Ukaya. Ɔbɛkan budget no. Na onni hɔ because na ɔkwaya rehwɛ. Ye nyina ye nim sɛ COVID chi papa ya sɛ be nyankopɔn adi nu afofia anka papa yi free mu enam yare akuro ya. Na sɛ papa no ekɔ ayarehwɛ wa frɛ ne sɛ uhia no on the 31st and a letter edi kan by on the 5th letter foforo by on the 7th onyi ni ndi ntia wo insist so omra na ni doctor a wo hwɛ no wo hɔ sɛ wo hu doctor ne letter no ni doctor a wo hwɛ no wo hɔ ɛsan trouble OSP sɛ me hwɛ nipa no sɛ de ne yare ne setie no ebi mpo a na ye besan ayɛ ne surgery inti manemre kakra inti we no betumi afa March every sabri February 12 and oye press conference e copy March no and na masem nyina me there I am not too much of a fan of anybody me say me ko ball e ko to santre e ko to aba e ma ye yi MPP because me wo gidie say MPP be bo man yi uye MPP pani bi uye MPP ni bi na ye ma odibia na didi bre no kodi dream kata se hye ne proya me betna ha mbefo awso it is obi adwene ya ne say this is not I'm saying this without admitting say obi anaka no furiata di obi dream kata se hye ne proya be dia make can say I'm making a general statement say me mfo obi a otisa so because me te ha enye obi na hwe me. What did the American say? And you mu bia me can for that 10 pesos. Omucha contract you be a MAAME bi. Enti dia me party am wo gidie woni mu no be ye bibia e be bring the party to disrepute am for awso. Enti ohia can for ata. Ye ne ya adwen. Ba no pay na me bisa asem bi se maame e me da me dem me be hwa abrantie kantinka bi no gina ho ye kromfo obewia me. Ya chi no. Enti wo obewia me na ya chi no enti ye fa bambo ni trimunku na. So use the right methods. Nipano within from the 31st of January. Ekopim 7th. No ni who communicate. 4 days later. Why a press conference say we gani. Me ube police be chimi amrama me hu kwan say me to me kan say me lawyer ni hu amenkasa. Eni me lawyer ankasa. Bibia wo wo twere bre me no. Ese say wo difa me lawyer so. Iti ni lawyer no ne kasa. By the 9th na ni lawyer or say yesterday who tie ni press conference na or can say yesterday na che say ade abachi ama na ye press conference no kura no omo san ni di nkuta ho nipa we wato ba ha wato pia fa jan nipa we wabu ban. That's the question I'm asking na ye nyina ye Ghana for me de me nua mahama ya otimi nchan so obi edidi na ebeye me ya edi obi di bi dimia enye me de nti me how ni say I am not here me betna ha say me defend konofuriata but dey make can say mumma yam framra kwan so na kwa me adade ya oni kamafo yi konofuriata kra de say wanya mu media for na mu discuss na say ye me so na obi fa kwati kwan bi so no de achinchi me say bu mi ko mu a why na be ye me megefo. And I keep asking who speaks for the ordinary Ghanaian. Say OSP high profile people nimponi Kenofuriata minyi ni say onya sika nko han lawyer nko di na asem wo court ato forcing why minyi ni say onya lawyer kura ni NDC form penifo kura omo ehyi sem nti obegina mo adi na asem free na ekobe ye me ni nana nso o nana kura mpo de so yon ohene na ekoye kwami adade nso why na beka na asem amano. And that is the question I'm asking. Let's be fair. In 1992 ye nyina ye koto santene eko kan say ye pese ye di mra enebu o my way. So we must all subject to the rule of law. Ko kan OSP mra no yes o 2 means obey investigation. Na why ye hwehwemu wo dream ene bi niama ese dream What did the American answer? Nia Sanya Manina or 2 means or Bayan Rishemu. Or ye can do for Atamun Shishemu. Or ye or no Kayo. Say or Shisha Mustafa Hamid Niamam. Ebia no Yenu Sumasi or Yana underground. Meaning in Yasem. But we are the underground now. We are now Wabe press conference now. Who can say Papa no Crano? Ye did dream when a Jumti who shed in Semuna. Papa is who Ghana Hong Kong baby. I can offer a tampo dear. Ghana how be an himself on Tiapo. Into a choir Risha. A hardry. Ghana for baby can say no Ghana hospital. Minya Mahama ya Timin Krasaka. Say so ye hospital say what Ghana ha yari in Yarenya unim yare hano. How many people will do this high level? Say Minka says yare no. But say a high level transplant be akuma bi sanyama no. Ghana ha ye were experts sa. Nansenya who ka say ura Ibrahim Mahama sponsor girl bi so onko South Africa. Ana meboa Mama say yare ha abaya na doctor for wo Ghana hana kolebunum ni niama to me ya. Then ura Ibrahim Mahama boka $250,000. Na ye di fly a branch some private jet. Inti na make say ye kwame adade anka me ye day. Why na ebe ma me private jet? What did the American say? Inti the American ko si ani say Keno Foriata must stand trial if he has done anything untoward. But the point I am making is one for Papa no unya wa accuse no at this level krano accusation u freno sisi adapa mu yesi yakohu sika Keno Foriata Mr. Keno special prosecutor am through plane every Ghana ha anko FBI ho anko hwan onye no an obeka kire yen so kwa America ko yen hwehwe mu Keno Foriata say me wo hospital ha doctor ohwe me ni DNA doctor ne letter ni hospital na address wo letter no so America nti say Ghana enye PO box o nti me ma o ma address a utimi free Ghana ha ko ho e ko ye hwehwe mu so ura kisi eja be through plane e no kodru America eni ni dom e no mo ko hospital na ye say Keno Foriata bia ni ho no be press conference ya bia ne nyina be ya adwene me my share MPP for uti say one MP I can say Keno Foriata should carry his own cross. 90 MPs can say yenyi. So there are people who may not agree with him. There are people who will agree with him. Me te hey, me 10 pesos. And it say yes Keno Foriata will billions now ko J we bia or 2% to say what percentage are. What is the point? Say me 2 card. Edi misika to petrol gu kam. Aba betina ha say me defend no. But the America say 1992 na ye kan say ye person mra na edi yen so no. Ye mfa mra enye adwuma. Nti masem nyina ne say the tenets of the rule of law must apply to all. Ohiani sikani. Keno Foriata kwame adade. Ye nyina no. Mumra enye adwuma. Me say obi akọ demonstration say obi edi adwrim na ye no kura medi na chi because nyama bi eti saa e ka ho na MPP party na me nso manage ho no e call opposition eno nso bi ka ho enti be no so nkyere say obi mmọ ne sere mu keke na ka de wupe bia na ye nhya ase ndidi nipa atem na ye ni nipa echi me de mo adawro magana fo mo amudi Keno Foriata atem mo amuka asem tia no enyan enu ni asem no yen kan kire OSP say hwe ye wo de ye bua no fo o be declare no wanted o ye hu ni photo wo ba bia from OSP o ye bua no fo court aka say ye bua no fo maza ye wo niama de niama ono OSP ye de abehye ni nsem so o investigate onye ba akukura o
Uni misem ni bi.
And someone in Crawford call report to ama OSP.
Okay, private individuals.
Enya ni amaketwa o. But me masem ni say emransem enya adwuma wo mai. Ma obi ansori say me na ma ban wo power nti. I will show you where power lies. And ye mu bi there ejabeto ye trinwim. No, let me tell mommy or can send be mommy educating no. Wada Roma. Na my educating.
Una one microphone into
far OSP assemble MPP in opposition Ghana for boss. Attorney General and the Minister of Justice ni adekoro. attorney general no aban, I repeat, aban a lawyer ni. Onwansu no what to me say obe prosecute niama ewo Ghana ha. The MPP here say ye ba power. They will separate the powers of the attorney general and take the prosecutorial powers away. Obia ya na nkrofo refi. Say dear eko ba ye no, be eno no war constitution no, because it was enshrined in the constitution no. Ye be hia say ye be fa kwan bi so na ye tumi ayi free honti. Na OSP na OSP free ba Ghana OSP ni wonyuma anti ya mane to me ni object ni mra no wa ha yesi onhwehwe nsem mu ani ama ye corruption nti me de me gidi say de ma OSP atiasi krom yi ni say ni ama mra no ABC no the object of the OSP no e kan ye no joma ma ba ye no de ama okujato ni papa ni de say prosini no Kofi Boachi ni omudo nti OSP 2 mi ni nyina no mra ne de tawachi be OSP suro me de migidie no migidie misi so biom it is not factual but me believe ni say OSP ehun say wan hwe yi ana budget ya e ba ina ne DMP ana ne budget afon maminka de nti ameka sa kire in 2022 OSP budget 180 meba mpacho adaroma me
sorry so mama
me yi ne budget na ma in 2022 OSP budget 180 million 160,841
okay
in 2023 boom meba me share figures na ma na the way ye di na juma no ekoma oral no 2023 129,549,380.00 2023 this one the reference is the budget mami opana ye mu ahye no
say
wan hwe ya na wadi no dokno kwa because na ejuma na nka yesi anu mrama na tumi ene akade so mfa anya nhwehwemu no ye de ama okujato ni ne dom omo akoye okujato ni dom
the render office no useless and I said
enti ni fear ni say I'm telling you way I said is pure conjecture but ye wo common sense ye nyina ni munyansa say me kira budget na abana we hu say ejuma na nanka ye di be hye ni nsa no eno na ora fo akoye ora fo nso di report na ba no and as usual and very 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 characteristic of okujato obema numbers na wa bodam enti o say oko retrieve unim ska oko retrieve 20 saying what is Ghana's GDP o say niama na onu na adwene ye ne say ora ebe retrieve no aye 20 billion US dollars o wa ko IMF e ko pay 1.3 billion o ko pay 3 billion now obi be retrieve 20 billion so okujeto raise marking scheme no OSP has nothing to show say ejuma ye de ahye ne nsa oba da be emsa mfie miensa nie ya man sika no what I can bear witness of and he say wa gini bulletproof Mercedes Benz come on I know the nyina yet say it was in the media
sika na the man no from 2020
he has nothing to show me ma dwini enti no na wa hu say ora for na be raising marking scheme no enti ora for raising marking scheme no chale akwa na enti ope high profile target
that's what they have
high profile target na or the target no at in anim media ma dwini because assemble akwa me e ba ma adwene mu ni say wo mo e ko ni fie e ko keno furata fie no won so kan say keno wo mo e ko keno furata fie no he didn't sanction it no kre aba bontin say he didn't sanction it but can say it is staged azan keno furata ankasa no ni japa akoye ba ko na omo akope soldier for ni police ni bi say obio because he used the word staged to derail.
See from mommy other them.
And you know, Sansem no Usha. Oh, me, Sabaka just said, well, you know, me, I have made my position clear. So, met me see form says, yeah, see, and he said, well, who said, Massa, Omar render useless. And it's Omar render useless. I saw Wusune. On you sumra, non fan Wusune. Na, o be imponi, na oni be, and your end, ye won't hear Strano Nadaruma, Omam running Yejuma.
Medasipe, I was here for Adade of the NPP and Ote Nenkano na share messages kakran for the Banafe Yenfe Bimrai or say please okay good afternoon Imano Kwakuyamwa and I say good afternoon please tell Honorable John Jinapo and JDM that they should stop telling Ghanaians about the energy debt because they are the cost of the energy debt through their dubious take or pay policy. They now have the guts to put the blame on the previous government. Okay, Manauba Stephen was why the NDC guy is still talking like campaign time. Manauba Stephen Ena Eka say Mystic Wonder Avuko in Saoma Adweji. And also good afternoon to you, Mami Soja. Accountability is an integral part of governance. Nole prosecutor is allowed under the Constitution of Ghana. So the MPP should avail themselves for investigation and prosecution. The MPP should stop the needless press conferences and spare our ears with the cacophony. Ghana will work again under the experienced, tried and tested President John Mahama. My regards to the good people of Mepe in the Northern constituency. That's my hometown and the land of my birth. Kwabena freedom, no matter say, Adade should stop thinking otherwise. Otherwise, he will get BP. We, the NDC party, aiming 12 years to rule. Declaration of asset by politicians. Okay, I think this one I've already read it. Now, young quick one, and I'm a samba subium on and I'll can be Martinami do the
No, about so bad.
me banana so. Martinami do say, former finance minister, and if you now Omoko, those people should be arrested and prosecuted.
That's the OSP's job.
Huh?
No, away.
Why?
No, Kasan.
Alamizi.
Oh, dance is here.
So I had as one what in the fear.
As
Ghana ni.
Or retirement.
Nah, what if you?
In the Juma Ben, oh, see.
They say, what if you?
No, then.
Maybe I am a family and I have something private.
Is he still practicing?
I don't know.
Until Ogusu Dinsem.
I don't know.
He can even be giving legal advice. Every lawyer is a consultant.
It's way or my advice and answer or Kasai. Na advice na me pese me hu nyentia nesisi na butanti o cast
o say e won hia say omo be kokko invade ni fie sa
no obisa nyentia wokọ ho obisa nyentia wokọ ho e ko invade ho ensan ko kire nyentia ono no na adwim o wa be ka ne de impempi ni mpanyimfu no kasa mo me mbisa ho questions so what I say anya bia onim nienti a wokọ ho si wokwakoye ne awoye even though OSP say onim ho hwe is it the OSP nkwa no investigating ana the answer is no because yen nyina yenim say various institutions e wo mem ha no Yoko CID and na sifu nyina they are all investigating the previous appointees anambwa in fact National Service Secretariat special prosecutor no say you but abeda di say sika won edi enye sika ketwa so ti ase nti so jinani baby na ebi opese ya tinenka o ma yehu so ti ase enye nsem bebre na obegina ono watoto abuba aba agoprama ne so se opese obo game ni bia bra na ora president Dramani Mahama o ma baby na what me aba be council we so ti ase because baby o ya na che say was starting lesini booty so onya ball ni bi obebo se obebo nso ama yehu se obebo bi na ma nya hu se uti bag uti agoprama na chi na wo de dede na wo ye dede se sie nkrofu ye ko hoyi amafu bebre there's divided understanding say okọ hokọ ye den won anko ho nso anke yehu ne ekọ so anambwa for me we are even ye krokro previous appointees are him say won ediska by this time grab Madam Cecilia da pa sanke ye bowra ni fi Near still echo champagne. I nasa still as can be champagne.
I am there.
Ah, nice can any day.
And I was a guy.
Never this can any day.
Ah, I was a guy. Was a guy.
Debio. Hey, Tio. The way a man for this Google polytank mu. What if be a Google passy? Will be a to form DB show. Baby BRS is the says cano. Ghana sika. Mango say to Suhum Kwan. Enyo. Says Google crofon passing. What to me?
Obi personal sika and I walk off a mango.
Personal sika. Oba no declare any access. This kind of go bank. This kind of go bank.
How are you know say your mind?
Ora Mustafa Hamid. Honestly, this can I say we both run if. Se se mpanyinfo bia na won abubo ndim bia e se friend papa no friend we Jakpa say in charge of special operation won bubo nra manfufi. That's right. So just mpanyinfo na what appointees ni nyina no embra na wo be faso den Ghana ha say onamumra so bia ntumi sori mbo nra bia fi oni warrant ana oni Injina Subia.
Omo can feel no more warrant.
What is on Abeka Josu woni? What you want any munsam? O menu giant won any munsam ye. Eye ni namu framam no be sorry and can we. Obi anim ni entia one work nim 2 minutes what they call work on one who say asrafu di won achi. Work on one who say security agencies di won achi. Security agencies mean why nam haya ya ho so obi bobo ramfi. Yes ma betra ha na ma kan sem bi asabi wonka. And I need went to Yantra cancer my yenim. South I say, and Untina, make us see, sir. You jet to me say, won't get this cadia, as I say a tata. Papa is a one aqua bruchiri. So one I'm born from okay, granted, or yare aqua bruchiri, then the nature say, or yaris amarin. Many women are near him. One I'm born refuge on one goes
up to 31st March.
And I wouldn't say, Obi to me call. Obi fi ko hwehwe obi otumi suma ne bese ko ka tense mini ho ewa se wan for so nwura ho anko hu so di dokno bi wo ne dining table so
na be na for so awura ho
na se bia wadi aka no de wo enti ode wo ka
nku nipa
ode wo ka na opese utia ka ni later se o ka sem e beto nipa na akoma mu na won ko ka biribi a ebe ne buafu mo se won anko fie ho a ene won anko hu se ampa papa ni ni ho a Thank you had to one from Musoni. Intimidate. I don't see anything wrong with it. It has been happening. When there's a speculation, say Obia Disika, na get the warrant be a show being says a Konako boss searcher. What want to me say Oko boss search? Make I say in the year 1998, na your computer we Kukumlemle. Na me Mr. Father. Yawana Obi Bora shop room sometime. And then someone was a member search. Apparently, no, Obia command who report from UK. Emro UK. It's a Wohiano. Meanwhile, no crampono. And yet about near Moyano. Ohona straight to Nifi. Until you can imagine. Such as say, your name say, what is Sika? Nasikaya, what di? A bet to me a boy mangana. Now, what for Sikani be? It's all the quack sound hoyare. A year then now, Ukuria also memuha. The systems are working. In middle time, our finance minister also the systems are working. Bribia are working, including Orisi Agenda 111 hospitals, Orisi regional hospitals, worry to equipment, worry employ nurses and doctors. And to be at the end of the one son who yare way friend Mangwasi. Aden one son who are at Dosso Clinic. Aden one son who are way Chebi Clinic. Not too far playing the car brochures or Cosan Hoyare. South Asi. Yes, so on hospital. So yeah, and go back home. South Asi, 1 year Nintino or Pentem asan the young taxpayers' money, no Asangako. Obianka would do so in your pay. Who's a your pay? And so Bosumbe do no na sika na afa wa account na afa no sima me bribia medase for me papa no Martin Amidu akọ retirement until na brana say no ne mofra India guru because at the end of the day no nsem no oba we kika no aya cake thank you until ho the advice is na aya cake they say yeah what digital world mama bunu ne ya
there was an issue. I think I nearly had an oversight on something. Educational forum no I think there was an oversight, which I think they didn't invite Catholic bishops, bishops and Christian council, which raised concern about the omission. So man just this afternoon, John Mahama has sent an apology to the Catholic bishop and the Christian council, apologizing to them as an oversight. But Mesre says, and too late here because they just started yesterday.
And today.
No, Andra. I think Andra no McCoy.
Okay, until they started today.
Yes, so I think say
in any case, the members of the Catholic Bishop Conference, are they not some of them? Are they not the same people who are managing our religious schools?
So
some of them are headmasters. Some of them are
you are inviting the Catholic Bishops Conference as an entity.
As an entity, that is it. As for that one there, you see, Nana,
you are taking them out.
Nana Yendi, no, that is Nana. I beg, me na me da say me buy. Government spokesperson.
Daycare center. What to be? Daycare center.
On the internet, me catch you say refer to me as government spokesperson.
Okay, Mateo.
Me na me tia na me kan buy asem. Yenye kokoti aban o. Ye ade na otwe ya adwene si so a. Na say ye pa o chewa. Because I also believe that entity has contributed immensely into our educational level. But the end then say John Mahama has apologized. But the American say they have not gone past the whole day. So they can go. If possible, I invite their reps to still join. But the ambassador needed to go and say he has acknowledged, say it was an oversight, and I will render unqualified apology to them. My main tackle a little of in some that they can. Already, let me see the no, my kind of so simple. You see, already several years of OSP budget. Budget is two. When they approve budget, anytime we person you ready budget be institution be drawn a budget. Now I share finance minister. Now we're defending the budget. So if finance minister and Abaino are approving a budget a man without knowing say you too much and now a dose one. Now you come to opposition who you sue the budget as an excuse to say on your here. Hear me. The first year who approve Bebre man no. What result did he bring into the second year? Who approve Bebre man? This is some of the wastefulness we were talking about. Until another way near the time for so you see, we are not rendering OSP useless. Yen kate on budget in terms of say yen ma on budget. So long as the office is still in existence, budget must go there. Inti adia wu nimuno, I beg me say when am we here amuko opposition, change from your character. OSP's office as we speak still exists and budget will still go there. All round now, maybe I can one seminar. Of which your black one never said anywhere say or could retrieve 20 billion. Let's be factual here. Or say, with the information on Magadano, the state can retrieve one case or no, because or no on your investigator. And oral don't have prosecutorial powers. Or say information when you know, on my bet me retrieve this amount. And on my young constitution am a body to be the one following those matters. What is the Attorney General? And nothing handle over all documents. Emma president and anymore or no handle over the body responsible for investigation. Inti Munja is antruno. A black one never said anything like that. And the oral don't have power to investigate and prosecute. They did not even investigate any of the information they had. Ntu ka say omo beji OSP adwuma ya. It is neither here nor there because they didn't do any investigation. They didn't do any investigation. So that I beg you for Martin Amidu Asem. These are 2 questions. Before I bet me, I supported Martin Alamisi Amidu statement. One more call hono. Did they go with warrants? 2. Did they also not go with warrant? In other words, no more warrant and I say no more warrant. That issue, man, till date. Yen na yentimi find out you. I hope you are aware. Until to say let's prosecute them, no. Then the person is to say maybe or what that information is said they went there without warrant. If not, no more call with warrant. Ultimately call it for their prosecution. So these 2 questions, let's leave it and see say a unfolding issue, no. You bring your final response to it. Whether or call with warrant and now man call with warrant. But you see, Mama, MAAME BIAMAH say there were several instances me any other debate na ha aka say it is bad. But aban biaba we repeat the same thing.
Yeah.
And you see sometimes we repeat not because yenim say bad but because a year na previous government had share on crofo munu. So if you don't also do that, like I said, they are more human than your people. John Jinapo, his house was raided when NDC lost power. Dr. Ayeni, his house was raided when we lost power. Papa Weya now, spokesperson for Vice President. Spokesperson for Professor Jenano Pogwajima during the campaign. James Ajani Mwati, his house was raided. Mustafa Bandio, you're vandalizing the whole house in the voter region when we lost power. I don't support it. But Nana Netiana all can against here. I was it. Not at that day. Any in crew of war.
It's for how long does I deal with
so as I'm saying that you see,
why the man sacrificial lamb?
That is the problem.
But Obia and I say way back and revenge, way back revenge. How are we going to end
I can tell you the people who started this whole thing. MAAME BIAMAH call into any new republic. No, the actually say ye jayechi egu. We are not going back for our past.
Yeah.
So when we entered 1992 constitution, now a new era of a new democracy. But when we lost power in 2020, in the year 2000, under MPP coming to power for the first time, and now change of government per the 1992 constitution, and they started and they started 2008, when we won, and people wanted to pay the MPP back. And say father for all. The late Mills, may you so rest in peace. Yeah, did the money Assembly lose 2016? Thinking say late Mills, father for all, no, the buy, would have changed the status quo of our politics. But we lost 2016, and MPP did the same thing to us. How long should the NDC continue to be doing? Do you get me? Yeah. How long? It is sometimes at the end of the day, it is not good. But when you follow incidents at the past and now, now beside who say, are they human beings that our people are? Yen de mribia ye ba, ye see Jaimaninka, and anytime we lose, they come with the same attitude that they did previously. Young girl focus say Jaimaninka. Into the mama history, no. Mama history for 1992. Because NDC started the 1992. This is how in the previous democracy. You don't transfer it to the new democracy. But we lost and they came after us. Let Mills won and said father for all. And we left them. lost 2016 and they came after us. Ma bubon krofua, you ready omu houses without warrant. Without warrant. For me, the long and short is that, mean draw conclusion, send krofua no yen prosecute one. And I am prosecute one.
Okay.
Until metimenya the fact that suggests say omu ko without a warrant. Because without a warrant, what it means is that they didn't go in accordance with the law. I think either Act 29 or Act 30. And that one said that John Mahama Akano on Tranasima Obia Embu Ghana Mraso Embu Obi Enimtia and disrespected and Crawford. So one abemuna who exhibited those attitudes now on fan no, I will call for their prosecution. But until now, no, I prejudicial for anybody to speak specifically. Say young chiwon as if say on him said they went without a warrant.
That's it. Yes.
I came here in a very good mood. Many Mahamana still open in Tokwa, but I refuse to join him.
You repeating this?
Me can say, Ora for say, Ora could to see if we succeed. Oh, that's a video. Oh, nyawuna meneo kasa mene Ghana for. Or say it's almost succeed in retrieval. Ombe retrieval 20.49 bits. Oh, that video is here, Jim Messenger. Or say if we this is a Ghana web publication. Video no na meet no. It was online Google. This is where he said that 36 of the 2,417 complaints the team thoroughly investigated pointed to serious embezzlements of state funds. Next paragraph. The chairman of the committee, who is also the member of parliament for Northton, added that the government can retrieve as much as 20 billion of stolen monies from the 36 cases. Next, this one is in quotes. The previous one is not in quotes. This one is in quotes. He said, this 36 cases that we have reviewed in detail, if we are successful in recoveries, we can. Wait. Oh, the American is saying, "Say me, okuja to what 2 minutes or the baba mi fie. Aba be bibi. Mami, maybe sa obiom. Okuja to what 2 minutes or be jina me ka akura. Mami, okuja to what 2 minutes or be jina me ka akura mpo. Only sa 2 minutes, just of minor man sa 2 minutes. And na the okan say omu be or say omu obie niama 36 pe issues 36 pe. If we are successful in recoveries, we can retrieve as much as 20.49 billion. That's what the video said. And this one is in quotes. The American is saying. Now, okuja to no why na man needs to me obey their retrieval. Why na man to me say uncle bisa nkrof or no uncle ji information.
To the government, the AG, not
so, but who is Okujato? What you are saying does not make sense. The common sense in it is that Okujato hasn't got power to even ask me and Estadade any question unless the state has given. So if you are telling the people, say state na manutumia, if the state didn't give him that power, what can he do? Master Mamikasa, and then I'm in a good mood.
No, stop.
Who did say Okujato me shoe kura or be farmer police action? But minor eman to me into betra haka say or see state no nanya state no na di to me nanya John Mahama na man
no be retrieve
onu why who is he? I am asking you. Me say Okujato.
Okay then
but he is alright. But who is Okujato? Can Okujato even take my shoe?
No, if today if he coming back is trying to correct
only start to me no just of minor man. Okay. Me or person shall me buffo kra. Look, Okujato, me say makana ha. Okujato is nobody apart from the power the state has given him. Even Owura Mahama na mu kra onu no ye opemu no kra no. Enye to me a o mine di man no a. Onu to me call obi fie nkoche no. That is why I say what I'm saying, what you are saying is contrite. It is straight. So if I say Okujeto si omubeji a, eye to me na ekura no de beji. Nti dia uka no nyasa bia ni mame nkan straight. Okujeto say omubeji 20 billion. Asemo amekan ye no. Dia owura ne Mimra Martin Hamidu so na dia uka no dia enkoye. Owura Martin Hamidu say obi a okofie ho no ye nche no. Masem nie ena me ka say me ba no asomdwem. Masem nie say obia to me bowura obia fie keke. Omo akotu omare wade ka. Yakọ obi fie akọ akotu ni ka. Esi NDC pen so time omo nso wa opposition no they are always referencing abronye num ni niam. That time I am one of the people who said say yen to me yes sir. Today I am saying it and this one is on record. Say uni hu to me say me timi fie keke. Ana say me di car bia betwam. Wo hwe na car ne ye fe kakra. Wo si akwa we die o ye MPP ni si ni car no ye nkoje. E na me ka say me dia obi afa o man ni car. Afa o man ni dan. Afa o man ni me dia sansa se ni niaman dia. Everybody knows my position on this. Every MPP person. Wo hwe ye platforms ni nyina so. I mean me dey to because I don't believe say or minus asa na ebe ministries no yemfa man nkura no fancy dan a ye ton $2 million $3 million ministries na asase na ye o mine dia na adwumayefo wo ho a otidodo a obefri dodo a obedru ministries na about 12 na wo ka say onu no or ye civil servant or nye serious what on asase no so ama obi a onu dia akosi dan na wo mo a wo sika na akoto. Who speaks for the ordinary Ghanaian? Inti the American say, Obi a wadi o mani dream. Mrs. Obium, Martin Hamidu say, wadi dream, where we are there. Famra kwan so na eni nundi. Men ko ni fie nkosi sa Japanum, sa Japan ya national security. No okohwa, on famra kwan so nko. Say, Owura Mahama say, onu de ojidi say Japan ewo or see ojidi say Japa wo warrant. Say Japa wo warrant. Uko obi fie, ube wura mimi fie. Ube wura mimi fie.
Na Japa say Japa wo warrant.
Or say so ni warrant.
Yen oni onye privy to.
Whether they have warrant.
Whether they have
read
or not.
Articles.
But you're investigating. You say omuni warrant.
Then the law must take it. I don't know why you are
Yeah, I have there are new publications online. Say almost say Jakpa as at 31st January no. Jakpa yaman official letter so your national security. Number 1. Number 2, or say omuko fie ho no ye omukuta warrant na koye.
Okay.
This is my position.
Uba
me. Go and read. This is my position. Say me uba me fie na ukuta warrant. Udru me gate no or whatever. Wabom maba. Oh. Me ye so and so. Sana mrane she say ye. Me ye inspector so and so. Me domini. Me warrant nie and if possible nipa ne be check warrant. Unim die ntira. Yes so go for law require so gigi kai no be gina me. No se kwame ada de ye MPP ni fa o ka ki bra wo kwan ni mfimfi. On fa hwe nkyere wo. Oni ID card bia odi kyere wo. Oni hwe odi kyere oni warrant bia o se fa ki ni bra. Asa nipa ni nipa boni no oje me ka ma e dio. Nti na me ka say. Look, ade a o defending dey. Ebe bu abo wo. Ebe sa kwa ba sa ba.
On defending you.
Abe sa kwa ba wo.
On defending you.
So even if I don't go by that
from mama.
Say ene stop that. Nyina ya be hia wa ha ne ye ka. Na
ye ka dem sakura won di.
Wani anje ho. Na say ene embumbo mi a.
Is that
on cancer, on defending whatever happens.
You are giving
I am speaking about in general terms.
Okay.
I'm speaking in general terms.
Okay.
No, stop that. You have been no. You are fond of doing that.
Say obia adwene ye ne say Japa kwa wa ko na ye besan ya ko biomu a. Me dey make am say yo ye wa. Because there ewiaya ye ne sa na na jobe ye.
Me das.
Be mama mama no si.
Anajona ewiaya si. Anajona dey si.
Na now say
former Minister of Information. Ninsemo
Oh, Bacho, there be time aso.
No.
Nana beg.
Below the belt. Because
I don't know.
Bacho, I beg. You are out of order. Nana, you are out of order. Another Bacho me that say. Another Bacho me that say.
Omo
Bra so sa monsomo beba ahoma no so na monsomo de madwen kire aba 0302243540. Hello, good afternoon.
MAAME BIAMAH AKWAFO.
Beba cho yanko udi ni bebe afrefin.
Me bacha wa de na orugo ko se watch live from Cantonment to Accra, Ghana. MAAME bacha me moduma bibi ka me cho batampa ha kumsini. Oba huma organizer. MAAME afa ana Dr. Kawaja Paul Zoom la yo panipano. Oboduma papa. Papa, MAAME. Me papa Mahama ni why me wo Ghana papa. And now although Obama Ghana don't want to know. And then but he is 17, but he is 16. I could find the time at 40, and TV the my Ghana. And then also could find the 2.2 be there's all Ethiopia, or Front of Germany, or Front of London. Hey, Papa Mahama, never any. Only a minute you been coming.
Sippy. Good afternoon.
Afternoon, many about.
Oh, only a penny, ya eja, Bacho Pomia dear.
Yamia Daruma.
Yeah, it's you. Amen.
Say a decline or the security analysis.
No correct.
Na me catch the one say, Omo, near Omo Kikana, ya name. Yet your man, mini about 2028, say yes, Ramba. Miss Roma, mine. Yet, O man, my Kotua Bamu be to me true. At the sea letter commission, so say, Kase Nipa winner and rini. In that Dr. Adam Bonanum, woman. I feel me, we are Mr. O panelist. Chance na Omunya bet na ho. Ya wada na wamba no ba ku bi ka say to foriata wo mu ekọ ni fie kura ka omu bo ni tu a ka na ni beje. En so ni wura mama say oforiata ha nipa. Me Lawrence ojiye na nanum sika eno ka ho bi me mentumi anko secondary school. O memu have this obi an ani afi. Ni was 64 years. NDC. Enyoma mo aye wo manyim. MAAME a no wo masro. Oba kromfo ene ot US na MPP mpanimfo yemfa ye won. Obi asem ene finance minister 2.something million euros. Ene ejapa otanwan ye se national security. O man we wa hu. Moma yenhwe bibiye papa. Na ndi MPP mpanimfo yemfa ye won. MPs, former MPs, NDC. Yet he said, double pay for so many years. Mujai won. Opuni to me court to say, or no on project. And that one near the Yamu. Sini about me, I mean, Yajuma.
Meda Sippy. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Biaba.
Bacho didn't be afraid.
We Dr. Numani, Semena could be Mikasana Yata.
Bacho, it's you.
That's Menchia, yes, to whom Mugabe, a year Protozua. I'm sure a year financial shielder after the market, honorable. I'm sure Mr. Dixon, and I say, how was missing, honorable, or back for woman organizer. MAAME, yes, send this for now. On my son, Mongasa, sister said, you won't call enough almost. One side is almost defended. Every people attacking also more defended. Me and now, I will car, every Tamona, and they catch up on almost defended. Say, oh, David, say, Japan to be a lady, I'm a Mako, Casa, or Nipanica, or what I saw the way. What it costs for searching. Come on, Kaya. It is a Japan boy, I don't know what is a what time to know. Or no, I can't know. I may so know what you be. Hey, Ghana, sorry, yes. About penny, who Baroka, she bought second and my dinner. A 2 man, my emre. And then Ghana, never none a cost, you know, to do the members of Sabasa. Who say won't declare asset? If you are showing pass asset, I would declare no. I don't want a war. About penny, I don't want asset a war. Who mentioned you that they say you perhaps a call. Did they give for? They say make sure to watch in Ghana, Niba, I mean, Tabama. Our penny that Mama Ned web for my penny Kaya or say, point is your buy, Crawford, and Crawford, and open you for 40 up for 3. And what's up a fuck of 40? I said, be nice, I've been home. Men woman also by my for 40 by a youth. Then there was up with you to keep one more of fear. Once I pray youth now. Now, when I saw my mom for probably over here for Ghana send for. Over there, Ghana for. You shut us.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon. Biama.
Me ba chodi ni be afrefi.
Collins ni.
Yo.
Mamole.
Ba chodi o.
Na ko ponshira papa. Mini aba. Share MPP communicators. Mo kasa mo ko bo osafu mafo. Emra mo ba power 2017. Biama ni tape no
oh, jaye na ne yakoso no yente mframa nko a.
Aha, afe
yanko.
Mo osafu mafo. E kanu print e Ghana fo nyina se. Wa ya faw. Ansi ewe mra aban na lusu no de. Kai hu se aban ko enye sika na o je tia wo. Na mo twasa to hona o mampani na president Mahama enso fa sai pa na so a eno so ebo mo ti papai hwe president Mahama be say obi a we disika former apprentice bia no hwe o ti ni tum na o disika na we si single room kwa bo my way a ni tunya me hwe Ghana for the bo abaso papa o sa fuma fo o jalo dakete paso kwa me say disika no ne fa mo man na mo sa shimiki oni na sifo nyina na papa ni tumo gidodo shikai when you sort of society
Meda sipi. Good afternoon.
Hey mami soja
No krasa Mr. No krasa mpacho yetio.
Yeah, on penny ni ko be man so de yaw on peno ai Nemo ya mo fa yenyina so ene de wa system mo fa yenyina so ma me mo abas na me chia ni ni no wa ye adwuma pa oba pa ma me biama ma me chia chairman Joe na me chia na bo fu sample ni na ana me chia ma so seja na me show doctor ten wo be so wa ni oba pa me si MPP ni biara o defend Kenya fu ya tano me describe like akai na wo me anafo wo ana wo ye pensioner a wo pesika ya to do e ya ma no ne Kenya fu ya penti and ama me ne dia gini ana na nei ana papa we e dia gini e wo fu ya fia na Kenya obusuani a na o de be check no for ya ta wo sempa and then you will get a no for your identity. Companies are good and make a no for your identity and the Mavusika as she no may have service. Who can see a way of communicate and who a trouble on your moment, your man said, not for coffee. Now, one by 119, I will buy it. Not for making our wood defending and for that one year, 1 year. We describe you like a tie because all poor man guy the year. And know how near the place you come in. And you can over it. I don't know.
Meda say. Meda say. Good afternoon.
I'm from Mami Soja.
About your dinner, baby.
But your phone and Mr.
You, for Yanko.
I mean, I don't know Papa not now.
What your casa?
What's your appointment? What was the Papa in the catcher say?
But on can't stop appointment. Me patch on can't stop appointment. Me see me patch on can ye.
Yo, Mami Biama, the Aquasunan, MPP for me. Wow, MPP for wow. To say MPP for your mother say. Party MPP party. No what can she party image? And oh, Yanka, Oma Disika. Adadi, what now? Oma Disika, I want Oma Disika, and 8 years now, you better ask me. And if you forget to catch it, and this is for and never more in your once you never come what in the once and never Matana Gumuso. Because yeah, my baby baby, MPP party, compare to the Huna in India. Now, what 8 years? Mammy, let's have MPP and the MPP for 8 years. You are called Mantimia Post, you are one part of the You see, MPP for 1 year will be 1 year will be. So be adani nanu edi bu MPP so and then we wa sanita no transfer bu MPP so e obi ti se chaso usu and then chaso usu adani nanu at MPP wa ko yo pressing for forestry ki ya ko le se kasa mami bia ma ki ya ko le se kasa cleaning work ye mo bia nya na mi ti dia na to buno nya to mo bia MPP dia na to buno aya to mo bia mi e fo na mika mi si dia be mo no mo bia fro bia so bia ka bi mi si bu ko so nye sa. No, MPP next time.
Medasepe. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, Mame Biama.
Bacho di ni baby afrefi.
Edin dia Mame Biama and FM at 2 communal AK Chantel.
Yo.
And Bayoka 250.
It's you.
Mame Biama Patroni and Sen na Efo Kano. MPP for the system measurement as a catastrophe for our Macosu Union be say Kino Foriata. And never finds a year I don't be back on Magana for. They say, Baby Bakunta from Magana for you, bit to me, be a minority leader. Michael minority leader at Media Parliament House. I can't take Ghana for them. I couldn't know Bunchano, or not attack the idea Mano. Mammy, but we want to decide we never end. Oh, then I focus a star, so I'm going to end this for some as if I catch on them, penny for now, I don't know to be said. For instance, just around the corner. It is every for someone moment to show me quality there. The business and penny for us to end is supposed to happen to me and ask because me came, you'll be one of your professors or my degree holders, so much my age, Madame and this for. Now, pretty fully go out town for now, friend, on fact because I know because I busy because of them and they will send us a cosmetic. It's lady be a bomb, for instance, around the country because thank of a capacity for you on BT. I can't afford no more agency to catch a kind of woman the audacity. I can't take an appointment or moment to make a catastrophe for you behind any episode from Tom and TV. The best of my pension to my mom is all born home. But all just able to put thank of a criminal for we not about book. Now, all right, you know, and I no, it's not come to every kind of say, young ended for your buying the Casaba across and I'm Biamampa to Adama. Maybe of course organization ye. Yes, is boss, no. Nataroma, the real light of night at the air force, no. Nataroma. Is too much. Is too much. The whole name.
Medasipe, Abusia. Na day and course, and maybe be a demo ebesie. As I can see, Encore Emma Adade of the NPP. Nana into a Mirichi, political analyst. And a Godwin Mahama of the NDC. One and there we umbe my discussion statement echo so. As I can see, my production crew Jordan Macjero Saj, my friend man, and I Safo and Afe Abdullah Dasmani. Wada Roman or Boame, and Mammy Jumedi Ebremo. May sorry, so La Michael Eba Beje Jaji and Tata de Yakofi. Medin at the MAAME BIAMAH AKWAFO, Macrow.